Howdy, folks. Anthony Johnson here today, founder of 21 Studios and the 21 Convention, here with a special video for you, a very special video, and a brutal video. It's a video I make with a heavy heart about Donovan Sharpe, someone I once considered a distant friend, and I've known for many years at this point. Done business with at conferences, various podcasts, and other projects we've done together over the years. So I make this video with a heavy heart. It's not fun, but Donovan, you made me do it. Now, before continuing, I want to make it known that I am explicitly claiming fair use doctrine, legal doctrine, for the relevant content in this video for the purposes of criticism, public interest, and news reporting. Over the past few weeks and few months, no less than 300,000 YouTube subscribers have shown interest, public interest, in the true nature of Donovan Sharpe, the individual behind that brand, Edwin Alexander Hopkins, and the entire business of Donovan Sharpe and that media personality that he operates on YouTube that we'll see here in just a second. You can read more about the fair use doctrine, of course, at copyright.gov, Wikipedia, various other major sources on the internet. It's no secret on YouTube. Now, Donovan Sharpe, before continuing further here, is a public figure. He's specifically a media personality, a social media personality, content creator, things like that, in general, and specifically in the Manosphere community that has millions of men involved in it. You can, of course, read about the definition of what a public figure is here on Wikipedia, various other news articles about it. Donovan Sharpe's YouTube channel itself has over 110,000 subscribers, so pretty big there. That's larger than most newspapers, for example. And he has achieved on this channel over 13 million views, and even more on other platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and so on, Facebook, and all that, where he has content, his own website, and all that. So I think by any reasonable definition, Donovan Sharpe as a brand, as an individual, Edwin Hopkins in real life, is a public figure in the modern age by a substantial margin. This is not a small channel. This is over 100,000 subscribers that want to know, learn from him. They want to know things from him. They want to watch his content, be entertained, be educated, and so on. So he's a public figure. This is also an article from Glenn Greenwald at Substack. This is the legendary reporter that unveiled the Edward Snowden issues many years ago, I think back in 2013. This is a recent article Glenn put out. He's the founder, by the way, of Substack, titled "Criticizing Public Figures, Including Influential Journalists, is Not Harassment or Abuse." I suggest you give that a read at some point. It's a great article. And I think it's highly relevant to this video, to Donovan Sharpe, and the content and the truth that I'm going to unveil to you throughout this video. It is not fun. Again, Donovan, you made me do this. And I do this video with a heavy heart, man. Finally, before the introduction here is over, I want to make it known that there's going to be a lot of trash talking, a lot of shit talking throughout this video. That's just kind of who I am. I do think it's also useful for the content throughout this video. But behind that, I want you to keep in mind that the content is also very serious. So however funny it is and the shit talking and the cursing and stuff, that's in part me being me. In part, I think it's useful and it'll help, kind of keep things flowing. And also, I think Donovan has earned that. And I mean that. So I pull no punches with it, and I make no apologies for the things that will be said in this video. So that's it for the introduction here. I appreciate you tuning into this video. I suggest you put your coffee down, buckle your seatbelt. It's going to be a wild ride as you join me down the red pill rabbit hole of the Manosphere. Court is now in session. Next, I want to provide you with some background and context as to what's going on. What's my history with Donovan Sharpe? What's his relationship to me and the companies that operate in the events? And more widely, what has Donovan been up to in the Manosphere? What kind of beefs and fights has he been involved in or starting? And what's just going on around him in general? So first up, let's have a look at his history with myself and the 21 Convention that you guys are most familiar with. So first of all, this is Donovan speaking at the 21 Convention 2018 in Orlando, Florida. Over 200 men. This is actually a still of his video on YouTube. It's got over 200,000 views, pretty popular. And you guys can go check that out. All of our speeches are published free to the world. You're welcome. Thank you. So that's him speaking there in 2018, the first time he spoke. This is Donovan Sharpe on the 21 Report show, hosted by George Bruno. They had a nice long conversation together, nice discussion, one of several that they've had together. That was in the spring of 2019, this picture and this interview. Also available on our channel for you guys to look at. They're not going anywhere. This is Donovan speaking or taking a group shot with the other speakers at the 21 Convention 2019 of Orlando, Florida, the third and final event that Donovan took part in and engaged with. This is a portrait shot of Donovan. We have thousands of these speakers from the event. This is very standard. Him just standing in front of our banner. This is him, of course, in his 2019 speech, part 1 of 3. The whole thing is also available as well on our channel for free to the world. You guys can check that out. Donovan is also a host, one of the most frequent hosts we had for a long time on the show, on the Redman Group show. And this is actually the Redman Group live, and there's Donovan with the Make Women Great Again hat, ironically. And we film these, the physical version of the Redman Group at the 21 convention events, typically at the end on Sundays or even the Monday after. This is Donovan hosting the Redman Group web edition, the digital edition you guys are familiar with, the classic edition, I guess we can call it at this point. There's Donovan top left, myself, Socrates, Steve the Dean Williams, DDJ from Miss Andrew Today, and Stefan Molyneux from Free Domain. Donovan has been on dozens and dozens of these shows for the Redman Group, and he's actually one of the founding panelists of it way back in 2018, February, when we started the show on YouTube. So Donovan has a long, long history with the 21 convention, and he's been at 3 events and done all kinds of things with us and with what we do. Moving on. There we go. So that's his relationship with me and his history with me in brief. It's a little more complicated in real life, but that is what it is. In short, it's a real life relationship. We've had dinner together several times. We've met numerous times. I met his wife, all kinds of things like that. So it's a real relationship, not an e-relationship or, internet limited relationship like that. Now, what has Donovan been up to? Let's have a look at that. This is the MGTOW Dictionary channel. It's got about 3,000 subscribers. And this is one of the main channels that Donovan has been beefing with and fighting with for several months at this point. And Donovan basically, in my view, I'll try to give an analogy for it. Donovan has basically walked up to a MGTOW bee's nest or hornet's nest and started beating it with a stick like a fucking piñata. He has been fighting with these people and antagonizing them for months and months and months at this point. And not surprisingly, when you walk up to a bee's nest, start hitting it with a stick like a piñata, the bees come out and sting you. Donovan then has turned around and repeatedly called all these people, not just this channel, MGTOW Dictionary, but all MGTOWs in general, in my understanding, gay. He calls them gay over and over again, and many other insults and things, which I think rise above the level of criticism to just basically insulting them. Picking fights, starting fights. Before continuing on to other channels that are related to this, I want to show something here. Something called Darvo. And those of you that have studied psychopathology, psychology in general, cluster B personality disorders, or BPD chicks as we would call it in the manosphere, Darvo is a very important term that you should know. It's an acronym, actually. I'm going to read the description here from Wikipedia for you guys. Darvo is an acronym for Deny, Attack, and Reverse Victim and Offender. It is a common manipulation strategy of psychological abusers. The abuser denies the abuse ever took place, attacks the victim for attempting to hold the abuser accountable, and claims that they, the abuser, are actually the victim in the situation, thus reversing the reality of the victim and offender. This usually involves not just playing the victim, but also victim blaming. I want this to really sink in for you guys watching this video, because we're going to revisit this later in the episode here, in the video, in the show. I believe this is one of the core elements of how Donovan engages with people who have any disagreements with him at all. Darvo, deny, attack, and reverse victim and offender. This is his go-to strategy for dealing with people, and I believe it is exactly what he's been doing with the MGTOW Dictionary channel, all the people that are involved in this channel, and other channels, such as Black Pill Truth, and a few more. Before continuing on there's a quick clip I want you to see of Donovan here, where he actually refers to these people directly, pretty recently.
$5 Australian says, you know what isn't a fraud or a scam? Damn it, Donovan. Effing Sharpe, proof of results guarantee when you apply the knowledge. Yeah, right. I got a lot of guys out here calling me a fraudster and a scam artist. And dude, I don't know what they're saying because I insulate myself from that stuff. Just let them talk. I just let them talk. Dude, listen, man, my results speak for themselves. Speak for themselves. It is what it is. Jay Perez.
So just a quick, life advice for you guys. Anytime someone comes out in public and says that they're not paying attention to something, when they're explicitly, addressing it in public like that, there's lying. Donovan, in my view and understanding, I've been tracking what he's doing on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube community posts lately. He's in full damage control. These people in particular, MGTOW Dictionary channel, have really exposed lies and hypocrisy and contradictions, deceptions that Donovan has been engaged in for a long time. And it is very aggravating to him. And he has been knee-jerk reacting to them for weeks and months at this point, nonstop, all over his Twitter, all over his Instagram, all over his YouTube community posts. I think even other places beyond that. So he is all over it. And as you see, even on his own channel on YouTube there. Now, what he's been doing in particular is going on a mass reporting spree, basically abusing the YouTube reporting system to get these videos taken down from the channels. He succeeded temporarily here with the Black Pill Truth channel, where he got one of their videos banned or community striked, and then it kind of locked up the whole channel. So the creator of the channel had to go and take all the videos down so that Donovan couldn't get the channel deleted, because Donovan is again on a report spree, an abuse spree, to basically abuse the YouTube reporting system to silence his critics, silence those who would expose the truth about his life and who he is and what he does. And again, just pretending that he's not paying attention is just complete bullshit. In the Manosphere, we say, ignore what they say and watch what they do. Now, that's a little bit tricky when someone's speaking, but it can still be applied here. If you ignore the specifics of what Donovan just said in that clip I showed you and watch what he does, what is the action? The action is that he addresses them directly, right? Forget the specifics of, I'm not paying attention to those guys, blah, blah, blah. That's all bullshit, guys. He is watching these people like a hawk because they're exposing him for the fraud that he is, as we're going to explore throughout this video. So as we go here, also, this is actually a new channel that Black Pill Truth created because the other channel was locked up for a little while with the community strike that Donovan did. They specifically cite Donovan for doing that on the channel, and I believe that they're correct in that assessment. Donovan is the one personally doing that, no one else, and he's doing it massively. He's just reporting everything that he can, lying to YouTube and whatnot, doing anything and everything within his power, within his ability to get these videos and these channels deleted and taken off YouTube. He's doing everything he can to hide the truth. And we'll see more of that as we go throughout the show. This, again, is the new channel they created. I recommend you guys go check it out, Black Pill Truth 2.0. You can find it on YouTube. And they have various videos exposing dating coaches' lies and hypocrisies and contradictions and all kinds of interesting things. It's worth taking a look at. They do a good job at hunting down all these really strange, unusual things that get said on very long live streams and long videos that are hard to navigate otherwise. So it's worth taking a look at. Now, I want to continue on here with another clip of Donovan speaking directly about these issues and these guys and myself in this next video.
They never stop becoming angry with women. These are your black pill guys, right? Your wannabe red pill guys who give themselves the title of president, and then they plagiarize phrases and they create hats that closely resemble the red ones of ex-president. These are guys who create channels to expose men like us because they know that if they directed their anger towards women, which is where their anger really lies, they'd be deplatformed, canceled, all the rest of that.
So there's a lot to unpack there, and we'll get into more of that later in the show. But I do want to focus here that, again, he's directly addressing these black pill guys. He's directly referring to me there, president of the Manosphere and this stuff. That's uniquely me and no one else in the world. And it's just so bizarre to see that, man. It's so pathetic to not even, use my name. And of all the things I've been called on the internet, I've been called, thousands and thousands of insults and all kinds of fucked up names and stuff. It is what it is. It's part of being a public figure. I've never been called black pill before. And if I'm understanding him correctly, he's basically trying to refer to me as black pill, which is just so bizarre and so stupid and false, frankly. So it is what it is there, but you also notice what he said at the end. He talks about, and he's talking about me, not just the black pill guys getting deplatformed and canceled, because that's what he's doing. He's conveying and projecting what he's actually doing in real life as physical actions, right? This is what people like him do. He's also then referring to me directly, president of the Manosphere. He talks about the hat, make women great again, all that. Then he talks about deplatforming and canceling. I take that as an implied or passive-aggressive threat, and I don't take it lightly. I take it seriously. My channel, 21 Studios, has over 287,000 subscribers. We were founded in July 2007. Let's see, we can pull it up here for you guys. July 23rd, 2007, 43,750,000 views. Not once in all these years since 2007, since the fucking Bush administration, have we ever had a single community strike or policy violation on YouTube. Ever. Not once have we had one. It's possible we could. Cancel culture is a big problem. I am not a fan of it, as you might imagine, with the memes I post and whatnot. But it's their company and their platform, and they have specific rules and guidelines that you can read and then you can follow or you can violate. And I have zero intention of violating them in this video or any of our videos at any point. And I think I've succeeded. That's why we have about 2,000 videos where, all this stuff gets done. And we never have any problems in all these years. So Donovan alluding to all this, deplatforming and canceling, when he's actually doing that to these guys, I take it as a threat not only against them, which is fucked up. He's picking on small channels, guys that don't have access to attorneys and funds and companies and relationships to defend themselves. I think he's directly threatening me, and I don't take it fucking lightly, and I don't appreciate it. So we're gonna have some fun, Donovan. We're gonna go. Oh, by the way, these guys are fucking with him back. So he's taking on their channels, right? Fucking up their shit, and they get him banned from Twitter. So again, this is what happens when you run up to a bee's nest and treat it like a piñata. Then you run away screaming, crying victim. Well, I think you asked for it, Donovan. You're reporting their videos, you're trying to get them deplatformed, kicked off YouTube. Choices have consequences, man. Circle of life, So I take that, though, that threat about deplatforming and all that, in the same sentence is talking about me. I take that as a threat against me, as a threat against my company and my channel that I love very much and I care a lot about. We've helped millions of men make their lives better, become more masculine, become better fathers, become better men. And even now for women, we have videos too. So I don't appreciate that. I don't take it lightly. And we're going to do something about that, Donovan. Because I can guarantee you the number one thing Donovan's going to do when this video comes out is report it and try to get it taken off YouTube. He will lie to YouTube. He will abuse the system. He will mass report it with bots and whatever other accounts he has and all kinds of fucking stupid shit like that. He will do everything within his power to silence this video. And I'm not going to let that happen under any circumstances. Number one, we will have backups of this video on other platforms like BitChute, Library, and Odyssey. But much more above and beyond that. I don't want Donovan hurting my channel, lying to YouTube, or manipulating the system to try to get me a community strike for the first time in 14 fucking years. So we're going to play another clip here that's pretty fun of Donovan. Check it out.
And guys, and this is funny, when I lost my first of 2 YouTube channels, guys were telling me, go to BitChute, go to here, go to there. And guys, and this is funny, when I lost my first of 2 YouTube channels, guys were telling me, go to BitChute, go to here, go to there.
So as you just heard, Donovan Sharpe lost 2 prior, here we go. Donovan Sharpe has lost no less than 2 YouTube channels. He just admitted to that on video. Those channels were terminated, they were banned. And we're gonna see those in just a second. But here's his current channel. And again, here's him.
And guys, and this is funny, when I lost my first of 2 YouTube channels, guys were telling me, go to BitChute, go to here, go to there.
So again, for any YouTube employees watching this video right now, because this guy reported it falsely and maliciously to silence the truth and him being exposed, this is his current YouTube channel. And that was him bragging about on a public live stream on YouTube, another channel, that he previously had 2 channels terminated. So this is his current channel. You can find it, /C Donovan Sharpe. Search Donovan Sharpe on YouTube, pull right up. And it gets worse. Here's Donovan's biography on the Return of Kings website that he wrote for many years. And his biography states, Donovan Sharpe. Donovan is a sexist son of a bitch who objectifies women by keeping them on their toes, their backs, and their knees where they belong. Although he's been banned from Twitter and YouTube, that doesn't stop him from dropping Red Pill Truth Monday through Thursday evenings at 7 EST, 4 PST on TSR Primetime with Donovan Sharpe. Blah, blah, blah. There you have it. And if we open up the link on that website there, that bio, here's what it goes to. His old YouTube account. Links will be in the description, by the way, for any YouTube employees or contractors watching this video. Here's what it says. This account has been terminated due to the multiple or severe violations of YouTube's policy against spam, deceptive practices, and misleading content or other terms of service violations. Nice, Donovan. You're a real fucking champion, bro. Here's another channel that he got banned. And any YouTube employees can easily look up what this channel was historically. It was all Donovan Sharpe run by him on every video. They were his channels. This account has been terminated due to multiple or severe violations of YouTube's policy prohibiting hate speech. Wow, Donovan. You're really racking up the medals, bro, on YouTube, getting banned over and over again. You got severe hate speech, you got spam, deceptive practices, misleading content. Fucking shit show, man. So, Donovan, if you want to report this video, well, let me back up here. We're going to play a game, Donovan. It's a fun game. It's called Push the Button. And our friend Chris Tucker has some sound advice on how to play that game.
Thumb up? Huh? Come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button.
What are you doing?
I'm just playing, play along. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
Blow everybody up.
Yeah, blow everybody up!
Push the goddamn button.
Push the goddamn button!
So there you have it, Donovan. I know you're watching this video right now, and you can push the button and falsely and maliciously report this video and try to get it taken down. In doing so, you'll blow up your own channel. Congratulations. So again, push the button. Like little Asian girl said, like Trish Tucker said, you know? Push the button, man. Push the fucking button. Now that's it for this segment. We'll get into it here next with you guys. Appreciate your patience here in the video. In this segment, I want to provide some additional context to why I'm making this video myself. I own this video personally. It's my responsibility in publishing it on my channels here, 21 Studios and other platforms and stuff. So why am I making this video, right? And that's, in the context as we discussed, as Donovan's been fighting with other channels. The MGTOW Dictionary channel, the Black Pill channels, all these people, right, for a long time now. Those fights have been occurring completely or largely independently of me for, a long time now, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, maybe even longer. So I'm making this video and it's specific and it's my responsibility and I want to own that and talk a little more about why exactly this is being made. Didn't come up out of nowhere and it's been made for a reason. So to begin, I hadn't talked to Donovan since the last time I talked to him before, much more recently, was summer 2020, like late June. He called me. There was a thing about speaking at the 2 events that he was scheduled to speak at that point at 21 Summit, held later that year. 3 conferences in one. It was our 14-year anniversary. 21 Summit consisted of 3 different conventions: the 21 Convention Patriarch for Fathers, the 21 Convention Main Event for Men, and the brand new 22 Convention for Women. Donovan was supposed to speak at 2 out of 3, and he dropped out of both in the midsummer. We'll get to why that is in a few minutes. So, I talked to him in the summer, and then I didn't hear anything from him for a long time. Months and months went by, I'd hear nothing. Then all of a sudden, someone sends me a link in late January to this. January 26, 2021, Donovan came out of nowhere. He had not emailed me, not texted me, not called me, nothing. He had all this information available. We've known each other for years. And he attacks me in this video harshly. It's constantly criticizing me, the whole thing. The thumbnail alone is basically all about me and 21 Convention. On the right-hand side, there's memes that we have created about the fraud father, Fraulo Tomasi. Some of you might know him. That's for a separate video. Good God. Anyways, this video came out, and by my understanding and my interpretation, it's a majority hit video on me, and it's running cover for Rolo. So that's the first time I had talked to, or not talked to, but I'd heard anything from Donovan in a long time. It came out of nowhere. I didn't like it. I didn't appreciate it. And I thought about firing back. I viewed it as an attack. I viewed it as kind of a hit on my reputation that was uncalled for. It was wrong, and it was deceptive and misleading and all these different things. And my gut instinct was to fire back, counterpunch, and attack, like I typically do when people attack me, such as Richard Cooper, who attacked me in February 2019, and Rollo Tomasi, who publicly attacked me in June 2019. These are different arguments and different debates we can have, but those are the facts of what happened. You guys can verify that for yourself and check it out. In this case, I did something different, something that was very hard for me to do, which is outside my comfort zone, which is to not fight back immediately, not counterpunch, and not attack somebody once they attack me. So I did something different for a change. I tried something new. And it was actually difficult for me to do that, but I did that. So this attack in January went largely just beyond under my radar. I was aware of it. I saw it. I didn't like it. And then I just let it go. I didn't do anything. I didn't make any videos, nothing, right? And I think for a while there, I thought I made the right move. Weeks went by, about 3 weeks, and nothing new would come up. The video went out on Donovan's channel, got some views, and then it kind of just faded away. Nothing really happened. And I was like, oh, cool. I tried something new and nothing happened after the fact. And it was probably a good move. I don't feel like fighting. I don't feel like, getting involved in this fucking drama this guy's trying to start with me. Let me just walk away, be the bigger man, so to speak, and let things just be as they are. Who gives a shit? My channel is much larger. It doesn't matter to me. Donovan's going to do whatever he's going to do. I was wrong. In February here, about a little bit less than a month after this video was released, Donovan goes on, let me actually show too. Initially, it was aired on Bulldog Mindset's channel before being rebroadcast on Donovan's channel. Bulldog Mindset, John Sames, has over 250,000 subscribers. This video is a more than 60-minute character assassination attempt on me, an attempt to attack me in public, to ridicule me, to undermine my character and reputation. It's very underhanded, it's very snaky, it's very shady. And I got to see a lot of it live. This is actually a regular chat that John Sames is highlighting on the show, live during the show. So this went out to John's channel. Over 250,000 subscribers the video was sent to. and it is nonstop shit talking by Donovan, right? The whole fucking time. I encourage you guys to go watch it, by the way. It's still available on John Samez's channel and even Donovan's channel. You can go check it out for yourself. Rather than just believe my interpretation, I encourage you to verify that. It's a little over an hour long, and it's worth watching. And again, he also broadcasted here on his own channel, Donovan Sharpe's channel. So rather than get into it, investigating a over hour-long interview, I just want to provide you guys some quick interpretations from third parties, second party and third parties that were involved or watched this go down and watched the stream itself. What they thought of the stream. Was it an attack or was it not an attack? Like the January 26th attack. Because this is now the second time in about less than a month, less than 30 days, that Donovan Sharpe had attacked me in public on major channels. Not even on his own channel at that point, which is bad enough. 100,000 subscribers. He goes to a new channel and attacks me on that. To over 250,000 fans of John Samez, right? Attacking my credibility, reputation, all these things, these lies. Lies and slander, as I consider them. So I'm going to show you guys some quick interpretations from 3 different men. The first one will be from Steve the Dean Williams. He's commenting on the January 26th attack, where Donovan tries to call me out for starting shit with people, which I do not do, in spite of what you may believe and the fake news and all that. People typically attack me, and then I fire back, and I just keep making fun of them indefinitely because it's a lot of fun, and I think it's useful. After that, we'll have a quick, we'll have comments basically on this interview from John Samez and from Tony Bruno, commenting more generally on the issue. So the first one's from Steve the Dean, and again, it's a quick comment on this here, what's going on with this video, which you can also watch. It's on Donovan's channel. It's still up. Donovan's thoughts here on this hit piece attacking me and completely allowing the fraud father, Rollo Tomasi, to get away with attacking tons and tons of people, starting more shit with anyone in our community by a long shot, even than Donovan, which I think is a huge fire starter as well. So first up is Steve the Dean, and here we go.
If you need to get at me because my business, then why the fuck ain't you putting Rolo's business as fucking over Anthony? Why don't you put that shit out? But you ain't doing that shit. You want to make it like Anthony's the bad guy, right? You want to put all that business on the street, but yet you seem like you protecting those bitches on that side. But see, that's what I keep telling you, man. I'm not that dude. So like I said, Donovan, if you listen to this, I already called you because you said, well, why don't we, my door's always open. You could call me and we can talk about it on the back end. I called you. I left you a message. And the same thing I'm saying right now is the same motherfucking shit I'm going to say to your ass on the back end. Don't put my fucking business on the street. What?
So that was Steve commenting again on this video, and I encourage you to go watch it and make your own determination of what exactly happened there. But in my view and Steve's view, basically Donovan is attacking me and he's letting Rollo get away with murder, attacking tons and tons of people and not calling him out even once and focusing most of the video on me, just as the thumbnail basically implies here. All right, trying to play concern troll, trying to police the manosphere like we're all going to sing Kumbaya and get along. And good old Donovan's going to save the day, the red pill dating expert. Yeah, right. So now we're going to look at the second attack, the one that I should also encourage you to take a look at, the interview on Bulldog Mindset's channel initially before it aired again on Donovan's channel. This was much more extensive than the quick 10-minute video or whatever this is on his own channel that launched in January. Again, this is from almost a month later. Donovan comes back out again. I had not responded to this at this point to this video, done nothing, right? Just let it go. This is brand new. So now we're going to get comments from John Samez, whether he considered this video that's over an hour long an attack, character assassination, reputation tarnishing, these things, or was Donovan just being some innocent, nice guy doing the right thing? We're going to find out. Let's have a look. Let's see what John says first. Then we'll go to Tony Bruno. Goes on to a 60-minute fucking tirade. I'm not attacking Anthony, but let me engage in 65 minutes of character assassination, where I'm not really attacking him, but I'm kind of attacking him, calling him an untrustworthy piece of shit. That was the snakiest bullshit, just to speak candidly, I've ever seen on video.
See,
it was politician level shit, like disgusting.
So here, yeah. I mean, there's a couple things I would say about that, and I'll get to the fraud question. But the thing is, the thing that I think that's important to understand is different people view things in a different way, right? So again, I can't speak for Donovan because I don't know him. I'm not him, right? But and I don't know exactly what he meant, but I like to give him the benefit of the doubt in saying that he didn't believe that he was attacking you because he wasn't calling you names. Now, my interpretation, okay, and Donovan, if you're watching, this is my interpretation. I said it during the stream, I tried to hint it during the stream. I didn't say it directly, but I'll say it now, is I felt like that was an attack on Anthony and it would be interpreted as an attack. That's why I said, hey, let's ask the audience if they feel like this is an attack. Does Anthony feel like this is an attack? Let's have him on.
So that's John's interpretation of what happened. I encourage you to watch again the full video. You can get the full context of what's going on. That live stream is available on Tony Bruno's channel. Typed Tony Bruno 21 Surfer on YouTube, should pull right up. It's also available on 21 Studios. Tony allowed us to republish it, co-publish it on our channel. So you can find it there on our channel. It's pretty recent, came out on the channel. You'll see it. Now we're going to get Tony Bruno's interpretation of what happened. Somewhere in the clip, I wasn't able to find it for this, but he does explicitly indicate that he believes, like similar to John, that it was an attack on me, plain and simple. In spite of Donovan kind of denying that, and John there provides some of his own context to why he believes Donovan wouldn't think that, because he wasn't cursing at me and stuff, which I think is a pretty low bar to whether or not you're attacking somebody. You can commit all sorts of slander and defamation and character assassination politely without cursing. Me, I prefer to curse, dropping F-bombs, fuck you, fuck this, go fuck yourself. That's me, and how I like to talk, and I like to engage with people that I'm fighting with or having conflict with. Donovan's a bit different, as we discussed, with the Darvo and the manipulation and things like that. We'll get into that again more later, but for now, let's focus back and see what Tony Bruno has to say about the situation.
Yeah, is I don't look at, like, I knew the reaction from the video. Anthony really didn't react from the video from Donovan last week, but I knew the reaction from yesterday's video was going to be, it was going to be harsh and it was going to be crude. I do not look as, I know Anthony because I talked to him. He was not angry. He wasn't angry at all. This is his response. I don't look at as it's Anthony's reaction. Anthony doesn't react, he responds. And there's a big difference between reacting and responding. Okay. Donovan, what did you expect? I mean, truthfully, what did you expect? I mean, that's, we've been, people have, bitched about the Rolo thing. And you know what? I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. It doesn't bother me. It's like being on social media. You see something on social media. How many people have to comment? Okay. When I see something that I don't like or something that might irritate me, you know what I do? I scroll on by. I just move on past it. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't affect me. But Anthony, I think, is protecting his brand. And his response to Donovan is going to be to protect his brand. And yeah, is he going to be tongue-in-cheek at it? Yeah, we know that. We know that. I mean, and to me, that's okay. That's my opinion. That's okay. We knew there was going to be memes coming out. It's just, it's the response. And do we laugh at those? Yeah, I think everybody does. Maybe so.
So that's Tony Bruno's interpretation of what happened. Once again, I encourage you to watch that full stream, or at least the parts around there for the full context, make up your own mind. I'm not here to dictate how you think. I'm providing to you what I believe to be true and my accurate assessment of reality to the best that I can give it. So before continuing, I want to focus again on what I was saying earlier about the initial attack in January before the one that came later, about 2 or 3 weeks later in February. So Rollo Tomasi, the fraud father, as I call him here in the meme, is a massive shit starter and starts more shit and more beef and more fights with anyone in our community by a long shot, even more than Donovan, who again, I think is a drama marketer and prone to doing this and has been known to do it in the past many times over, particularly in the Black Manosphere, as it's called. Now, as far as Rollo is concerned, let's have a look at who he attacks to really outline this, because this was not discussed in this attack video on me at all. And as Steve Ledeen called out in the video I just showed you, he didn't mention it's hypocritical of him to do that, and Steve's calling that out as a third party. It's bullshit. So first, let's have a look here. Boom. This is Coach Greg Adams' channel, his main one. It's got over 150,000 subscribers. He is very well respected in the Manosphere. He's still pretty new. Joined maybe 3 years ago at this point. But it's unusual for people to attack him. Some do, but very rarely do they. Rollo Tomasi has attacked Coach Greg Adams repeatedly. This guy Jared Mesa calls us out here. And it's honestly been known in public for a while now, and people are not happy about that. There was no, Coach Greg did not attack Rollo. Rollo attacked Coach Greg. He also has attacked publicly Coach Corey Wayne. He's attacked Coach Red Pill. He's attacked, this is a video we'll get to later, but tons of guys like that. You know, he just attacks. If you look through his stuff, these 4-hour fucking live streams from the fraud father, Rollo Tomasi, he is known for attacking tons and tons of people like that. Coach Red Pill, Coach Corey Wayne, Coach Greg Adams. Even, I want to point this out, he's attacked Dr. Sean Smith and Dr. Robert Glover, two men who hold PhDs in our community that are very, very well respected. And it's even more unusual for them to be attacked than guys like Coach Greg, Coach Corey Wayne, Coach Red Pill. Like, who attacks Sean Smith and Dr. Robert Glover? I've discussed this in a video previously, actually highlighting the clips where Rollo attacks these people, these men, these great men that are very well respected in our community, and it's extremely rare and weird to attack them. Nobody does that. I've called Dr. Robert Glover the Mr. Rogers of the Manosphere, and the similar can be said for Dr. Sean Smith. These are men who hold real degrees and have real licenses to practice their profession in psychology and therapy and things like that. They mean well. They've done enormously well at positive works for the Manosphere, particularly Dr. Glover, who's been around with his book, No More Mr. Nice Guy, for decades. He's helped millions of men make their lives better and become more masculine. Dr. Sean Smith's a bit newer to the Manosphere, but he's had a very positive influence by speaking at the 21 Convention, on the Red Man Group, his own YouTube channel, and various other podcasts and interviews that he's engaged with. They're nothing but positive, and they're strong, and they're assertive, and they mean well, and they're intelligent. Attacking them is fucking delusional. That's what Rollo does. He attacks them, Coach Red Pill, Coach Corey Wayne, Coach Greg Adams. Over and over and over again, he does this shit. And does Donovan call it out? Nope. He makes mean of this bully, just like Steve's calling out his bullshit. It's absolute fucking fraudulent bullshit. It's Donovan running cover for his digital daddy, the fraud father, Homo Tomasi, as he's called by the MGTOW dudes lately. Again, there's a whole issue there at the Rollo thing. You guys can look up Rollo Tomasi videos on our channel that explore that more. But nevertheless, he starts shit with major content creators, and Donovan will never, ever call that out. Not once in this video does he call it out. And Steve highlights that, and I think it's worth noting a couple times over here. So moving on a little bit here, let's take a step back actually to Donovan Sharpe and why he dropped out. The last time I talked to him. So we're talking about the January attack, January 26th. This came out of nowhere. This honestly kind of blindsided me. I really hadn't talked to him since the summer, since like late June. And for this to come out of nowhere after me and him knowing each other for years was very strange, very, very strange. So let's actually review what happened. Donovan Sharpe was a speaker, or supposed to be a speaker, confirmed speaker for the 22 convention, Make Women Great Again, being held for the first time. He was also supposed to speak at the 21 convention, the main event for men, being held at the same time, same weekend, along with another event for the fathers at 21 Summit. This was October 2020. In the summer, Donovan dropped out of both of those events, the 21 convention and the 22 convention. It was very sudden and it came out of nowhere, and it was surprising. In particular, because the 22 convention had gotten major, major press, massive press in the media. One of the biggest media explosions the Manosphere had ever seen. Blaze TV, New York Times, Good Morning Britain, New York Post, Sky News, all these major publications were all over it. We reached over 150 million people in early 2020 by promoting that event, promoting Make Women Great Again and the 22 convention and so on, and the 21 convention even. So Donovan had been a confirmed speaker for those two events for a long time, over 6 months at that point publicly. We had been promoting him. He had been promoting the event. We'll review that just in a second here. And he had been all about it. This was not new for him to do. He had previously promoted and sold tickets to the events. This was just another year, and Donovan was all about it, gung-ho, 100,000%. Let's go, let's kick ass, right? Just like we had seen previously when he spoke at these events. There and there and there and there, all over the place, right? So let's have a look here. In 2020, Donovan Sharpe basically dropped out because of two reasons. He cited two reasons to me specifically on the phone. He dropped out because of, well, first of all, he dropped, let's highlight this. He compliments me here on landing Stefan Molyneux. This was in August 2019, a few months before this all went down. So he's complimenting here on landing Stefan Molyneux, the guy that he spoke with here soon after that text was sent at the convention. Stefan Molyneux is at the top right, Donovan's here in the middle. They even took a selfie together. I didn't take this photo. My company did not take this photo. Donovan took this photo by his own initiative and his own technology and his own camera and all that shit, all on his own. And of course, he had engaged with him here. Now, as you'll see on the live stream with Bulldog Mindset, Donovan does own up to dropping out of 21 convention because of Stefan Molyneux. He cites, and there's a problem here though. He admits to dropping out because of Stefan Molyneux, but he does not admit to dropping out because of Candace Owens. Those are the two reasons the two specific reasons he dropped out of the 22 convention and the 21 convention. Stefan Molyneux, boom, and Candace Owens. Now, in the Bulldog interview, this pissed me off because he was very explicit that Candace Owens was a problem. So he admitted to it here, but he was explicit about it, or not. He refused to be explicit about dropping out because of Candace Owens. Candace Owens is not a speaker of my events. I don't know her. I've never interviewed her. I don't even know anyone that knows her. So when he cited the Molyneux thing, number one, it was hypocritical and kind of weird because he had, complimented me on landing Molyneux previously as a speaker. He had taken selfies at Stefan Molyneux. He had hosted shows with the Stefan Molyneux as a special guest. He had spoken alongside Stefan Molyneux at the events. All kinds of stuff like this, right? So when he dropped out because of Stefan Molyneux on the phone with me in the summer of 2020, late June, I told him this is fucking dumb, flat out. Like, why are you dropping out because of Molyneux? You have selfies with this guy. You've spoken alongside of him a couple times. You've been on shows with him. Like, the fact that you have fucking selfies with this guy and you're posting these online and you're all proud of it and showing it off, and then you're dropping out of a convention with a shit ton of press a few months later is nuts. Like, this is just totally, it made zero sense, right? And I told him as much. It doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. And I don't really care that, what your reasons are, unless you have something very specific. He was pissed about something Stefan Molyneux had said about George Floyd. I'm like, unless you have a link and a time code about something really fucking serious that Stefan Molyneux said, I don't care. If you have a disagreement with the speaker that you previously have spoken alongside with, it's not my problem. If it's a big fucking problem and we can all get it and it can blow up in our faces, my face, you have the speakers from the events, if it's going to cause a problem for everybody, like these guys, I need to know about it as the founder and the leader of the event. Duh. He refused to send me a link, a video, or a time code about what Stefan Molyneux said that was so damning about George Floyd. I talked to Stefan Molyneux about this, and the bullshit Donovan claimed was never fucking said. That's why Donovan never sent me a fucking link when I asked him for it, because it was bullshit. Stefan Molyneux disagreed with something, Donovan Sharpe, disagreed with something Stefan Molyneux has said about George Floyd. I don't fucking care. That is not my problem. My job is to run conventions like this and bring men together and leaders and talk about the issues and make basically a TED Talks for men, right? That's what I do. I've been doing an extremely good job for 15 fucking years now. Little spats between speakers don't matter to me unless it's extremely serious and you can provide me evidence, a link, a time code, a transcription, anything to tell me why you're dropping out of the event that's so serious that I might need to do something about it, like get rid of Molyneux. Donovan even had the fucking nerve to tell me he didn't expect me to boot Molyneux out because Molyneux had a bigger audience than him. As if I give a fuck how big Molyneux's audience is. I would kick anyone out of my conventions if they're talking serious shit that is extremely negative and toxic and evil or something like that. I don't want to be around that shit. Elliot Hulse has the biggest audience, for example, out of any speaker at our conventions. He has over 2 million YouTube subscribers alone, like 500,000 Instagram followers, right? Millions of people follow him. If he started saying tomorrow, feminism's awesome, communism's fucking great, down with America, I would just boot him out of the convention. It's that simple. I don't give a fuck if he has millions of followers. Oh, well, what am I going to lose for money and ticket sales? I don't give a fuck. That's Donovan projecting his own fucking garbage at me for how he thinks. Like, I'm going to fucking keep Molyneux on because he has a big audience when he's saying some horrendous shit about George Floyd or whatever other fucking issues. No, that's a projection of how this fucking scumbag on the right thinks and acts as a businessman. It's all about money. It's all about fucking making dough and doing stupid shit like that. The hypocrisy here is pretty impressive, complimenting me on Molyneux, taking selfies and all this. But the Candace Owens thing really pisses me off, and he refused to admit to that. And that's one of the reasons I refused to even go on that live stream, because I knew he was dug deep into lying. And now he denied it on air, and that's a problem for him. That's a big fucking problem, because he owned up to the Molyneux thing. Here's him, by the way, when he crawls back into the convention. Well, let me focus here on the Candace thing. So Donovan Sharpe denied on this show the Candace Owens being an issue. It was an issue. It was one of two reasons that he fucking dropped out of 22 convention and 21 convention in 2020. Here's me talking to George Bruno about it right after Donovan did it. I specifically cite the Molyneux and the Candace Owens thing. And the Candace Owens, again, is fucking ridiculous because she is not a speaker of our conventions. She never has been. I've never even interviewed her. I don't know who the fuck. I mean, I had to retweet her. That's basically what he was bitching about, that I was retweeting her, Stefan Molyneux was retweeting, all this crap that's irrelevant. As if I'm going to allow speakers to dictate who I retweet, who I like, and who I share. Bullshit. Anyway, this is a text to George Bruno in the summer of 2020. And I have half a dozen of these with other speakers where I was talking about how dumb this was of Donovan to drop out of the events and blame Molyneux, which is dumb enough because of the selfies and shit, and being all excited about it and complimenting me on it. But then the Candace Owens thing was even dumber because she's not a fucking speaker. She has nothing to do with our events, basically. Like, you know, who I retweet is going to dictate you speaking at the events. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, you don't like Candace Owens. I don't fucking care. I like some of the things she says on feminism and whatnot, and I'm going to retweet her whenever the fuck I want. It's my life, my mouth, my speech, my responsibility. I'm not going to be dictated to who I get to retweet and shit. So I have half a dozen of these. This is one with George Bruno. There's another half a dozen with guys like Socrates, Ivan Throne and stuff, where I'm talking about this. So why the fuck am I talking about this in the summer of 2020? And then he goes on this stream and all of a sudden it didn't fucking happen. It did fucking happen. He's embarrassed. He's embarrassed because Candace Owens, I'll show you guys this. Candace Owens is very well liked in the manosphere. And Donovan does not want his audience to know that he fucking hates Candace Owens. He hates her with a passion, as far as I know and as far as I can tell. So a couple days ago, I put out this actually criticizing Candace, which is unusual for me, but I do here. I didn't like her tweet about this. I thought it was being stupid, so I kind of wrote that. You know, she has feminist propaganda in her head a little bit, even though she claims to be critical of feminism and these things publicly. And she is. She says some very savage things about feminism that I like and tend to agree with. If you go in the comments, you'll see hundreds, over 300 comments, and most of them are overwhelmingly positive in favor of Candace Owens and against Cardi B, with the public beef they have going on right now. The same can be said if Donovan were to post this stuff on his channel, the same thing would happen. She would be fucking overwhelmingly approved of in the manosphere, and he would look like a fucking idiot, a PR problem for going against her. That is why he denied that shit. And that's why I was talking about it here, or I was just talking about it in general in the fucking summer of 2020. It's this bullshit that he did this. Complete bullshit. Now, the Molyneux and Candace Owens thing, well, this is also too. So let's talk about this real quick, him trying to get back in. So Donovan drops out of the events, right? On a phone call and a couple texts and stuff, he drops out. He blames Stefan Molyneux and Candace Owens, drops out of this event that later went on, and the 21 convention for men. I don't fucking appreciate that. What does he do? A week and a half later, he's crawling back in, basically vomiting to me exactly what I told him. Exactly. It's stupid to drop out. I'm not here to moderate minor disputes between speakers. If you're going to drop out of the event because of something another speaker said, I need to know exactly what it was because it's probably pretty serious. The inability and refusal to send me a single link, video, timecode, article, transcription, anything about it is a big problem. It's a red flag is what it is. It's a red flag of someone who's full shit and fucking lying. The Candace Owens thing, of course, drives it home even more. Now, the reason, too, I show this text is because Donovan does own up to the Molyneux thing half-heartedly, a little bit, on the John Samez interview, the one I just showed you guys here. What he does not do is own the Candace Owens thing in here in this text. And this is why he refuses, I think, to do so in public. He wants to evade it and avoid it and stay away from it. But that is exactly what fucking happened. And that's why I was talking about it to guys like George Bruno and other speakers when it happened, because it was so fucking dumb. And we talked about it for a couple days, and then it was history. Who gave a fuck? It's done. It's done. It's stupid. It's going to be put in history books, and it is what it is. So here's what happens next. After he drops out of the event, well, here it is. He's complimenting me on Jesse Lee Peterson, getting Jesse Lee Peterson as a speaker. Now he's here complimenting me on getting Coach Greg Adams and AMS to speak at the convention too. He's all about it. So what fucking happens, right? Here's the event. He drops out of the event. Here's the event that ends up happening. Now all of a sudden he wants back in. What happens is I launched the fucking speaker list a couple days after he drops out. Just coincidentally, it was about time to put out the speaker list. He sees the fucking speakers. He sees Jesse Lee Peterson. He sees Coach Greg Adams. He sees AMS. He sees that this is coming because he's been to it before. All of a sudden, this kid, this fucking idiot, this mama's boy, Donovan Sharpe, is playing fucking musical chairs. He tries to get back into the convention he just dropped out of. 2 of them, this one and this one. He drops out, and in less than 2 weeks, he's begging me to get back in the convention. Like it's musical fucking chairs, like we're kids. Like you can just drop in and out of major speaking engagements whenever the fuck you feel like it, for any fucking reason you want, including the exact shit that I told you on the phone when you dropped out like a fucking idiot over Stefan Molyneux, who you're taking selfies with and you're all fucking about him, right? Oh, good job. This is just stupid, man. This is so fucking dumb. And again, this is exactly why this exact text is why he owned up to the Molyneux thing in public, because he knows he's fucked. And the Candace Owens things he thought he could dodge, but in reality he can't. I was talking about it with a bunch of speakers, and it was one of the reasons he dropped out. I will say that I think the majority reason he dropped out is because of Molyneux, maybe like 60-40%, 70-30. I don't think Candace Owens was the main reason he dropped out at 22 convention. But like George Bruno recommends here, George Bruno's even doubling down. He wants me to double down and invite Candace Owens as a speaker to 22 convention, where eventually we did allow one or technically two women to speak and present at the events. Now, while we're on the issue of Make Women Great Again and the 22 convention, Make Women Great Again, where this all originated, the event that Donovan was confirmed to be a speaker at before he dropped out, along with the 21 convention main event for men, let's finish up on that and see what Donovan thinks about that. Because Donovan obviously was going to speak at the Make Women Great Again convention, and we're going to look into the things that he's said about Make Women Great Again. Here he is with the hat, for example, and we'll get into this more in a second here, but Donovan has become very critical of Make Women Great Again. That's what I want to highlight, because there has been no public dispute or no public rejection of Make Women Great Again by Donovan. All of a sudden, one day, he became anti-Make Women Great Again, out of nowhere. There was no intellectual thing. There wasn't some come to Jesus moment where he's going to, give all the stuff up and change his whole tune about life. He was all about Make Women Great Again for a long time. He was all about speaking at it. He was all about the promotion and the news and stuff. For those of you who don't know, again, Make Women Great Again went mega viral. It reached over 150 million people in 2020. It was one of the most successful marketing campaigns, probably the most successful marketing campaign in the history of the manosphere, and something that is one of the most successful marketing campaigns in the history of the internet. It's massive. I mean, we reached 150 million people by playing the fake news media, absolutely playing these people for fools like this. So Donovan was all about it, and then he changed his tune all of a sudden very recently, very, very recently. So let's have a look before we see what he said positively about Make Women Great Again. Let's see what he said negatively, a clip that you saw earlier in this video.
And that's for many reasons. That's for another day and time. But this is important. This is very important. The anger phase is very important because there are a lot of men who never really get past the anger phase, right? They never stop becoming angry with women. These are your black pill guys, right? Your wannabe red pill guys who give themselves the title of president, and then they plagiarize phrases and they create hats that closely resemble the red ones of ex-president.
So he's talking about the Make Women Great Again hat, undoubtedly. Ex-president, he means Donald Trump. Donald Trump, of course, is not the originator, by the way, of Make America Great Again. That's a campaign slogan for him from 2016 to 2020. Obviously, it's not a secret. But he did not invent that. It was said by other ex-presidents, such as President Bill Clinton, President Ronald Reagan, and I think even more. So it's been around for 30, 40 years, Make America Great Again. This is not, this is toxic masculinity, but the Make Women Great Again hat is not plagiarism. It was inspired by that. I was inspired by it. I think it's a really fantastic idea. And obviously the media, in some respect or some way, if you want to analyze it, they thought it was pretty interesting as well. This reached over 150 million people. Celebrities like George Takei, Alyssa Milano were bitching about it and complaining about it. It went everywhere. Super viral all over the internet, social media, podcasts, terrestrial radio stations, TV shows. I mean, look at this stuff. This is wild, man. This is a channel with over 2 million subscribers. There are numerous YouTube channels with millions of subscribers that were complaining about it. It's also a TV show syndicated on Fox News and all this stuff. I was on TV shows myself. It was a big deal. And Donovan, again, was all about it before he just started bitching about it to you in the clip you just watched. Plagiarizing ex-presidents, blah, 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 all this crap. No. So let's see what Donovan said before he became all of a sudden anti-Make Women Great Again, anti-red hats that plagiarize presidents. Let's see what he says. Here we go.
I am your host, Donovan Sharpe. It's good to have you guys in today. The Red Man Group is brought to you by the 22 convention. We aim to make women great again. And this is actually going to be the third time that we've discussed the 22 convention. And the reason for that is because we seem to be getting some notoriety on mainstream media. We've actually got a couple of articles, a couple of videos and an article to read. But before we get started, let me go ahead and introduce today's panel. First up, of course, is Anthony Dream Johnson. He is the founder of 21 Studios as well as 21 University. You guys can go to the 21 convention to get tickets to the 21 convention and the 22 convention. You can get tickets to the 22 convention on the21convention.org. Is that correct, Anthony?
That's correct. Yep.
All right, perfect. Next up is none other than Steve the Dean Williams. You guys can watch his show,
Okay, perfect, he says. Perfect. Donovan's all about 22 convention, Make Women Great Again. Let's actually hear a little more. Another clip we have of Donovan defending defending Make Women Great Again and advocating for Make Women Great Again in public repeatedly.
Condescension with which they talk about this, right? It's amazing how they just absolutely, oh, I can't believe this is happening. Oh, make women great again. But here's what they're missing, Anthony, and I'm going to get your thoughts on this as soon as this video is over. We're saying make women great again, right? Like these banshees are so close. They're so in their feelings. They're so roundabout with what they're thinking. They have no idea that we're actually giving them a compliment. You were once great. We are trying to make you guys great again because you were once great. Unfortunately, women just don't see it that way because, of course, they are women.
Yeah, it's a very. Yeah. So there's Donovan advocating for Make Women Great Again, explaining it and defending it even. Here he is one more time bitching about Make Women Great Again and red hats that plagiarize ex-presidents like Donald Trump, which is bullshit.
And that's for many reasons. That's for another day in time. But this is important. This is very important. The anger phase is very important because there are a lot of men who never really get past the anger phase, right? They never stop becoming angry with women. These are your black pill guys, right? Your wannabe red pill guys who give themselves the title of president, and then they plagiarize phrases and they create hats that closely resemble the red ones of ex-president.
Plagiarize phrases like Make America Great Again. He's accusing me of plagiarism, right? Not being inspired by and creating something completely new that took the internet by storm. Undoubtedly, unquestionably, as a matter of fact and observation of reality. All over the news, all over the media, major publications. I myself did a 20-minute interview with Piers Morgan on Good Morning Britain, before he actually left recently. So it's a big thing, right? I had, death threats, threats of violence, threats of bombing the event, all kinds of really negative stuff that came out of it from feminists that wanted to destroy it. They wanted to stop this from ever happening, and they failed because I'm fucking awesome. So that's Donovan bitching about the hat, right? And you saw him then defend it on the Redman group. It gets much worse. Presidents that, let's see. So we're stealing hats. So you're bitching about Make Women Great Again, Donovan, yet you're wearing the fucking hat. You're showing it off on your show for over a year. There's one example of it. You rearrange your studio. You're showing off Make Women Great Again here. Here's your woman wearing the hat too. You put it proudly on her and took a picture of it. Wearing it all over the place. Make women great again. Make women great again. Make your own woman great again, apparently. Wear it yourself. I didn't ask you to take these photos. You did this shit all on your own. So this hypocritical fraud is going to come out in public against Make Women Great Again with no explanation, just popping off, bitching about it, accusing me of plagiarism, stealing phrases from Trump and stuff rather than being obviously inspired by it. Duh. Make America great again. Make women great again. Duh. And being very, very successful with it. Donovan is a hypocritical fucking fraud in this instance, and he's fucking jealous. He's very jealous of the media attention that this got and that he did not. He's jealous of the attention that the speakers got by speaking at it after he dropped out of it all on his fucking own. He dropped out of this shit and then tried to get back in like it's fucking musical chairs, tries to blame Candace Owens and Stefan Molyneux. It's bullshit, guys. Fraudulent, hypocritical fucking bullshit. Even wears the fucking hat that he bitches about. He fucking wears this shit. Look at him. His fucking wife wears it. He shows it off in his studio. For over a year, he's showing this shit off, right? He speaks alongside it at events and stuff. It's all over the fucking place. So it's bullshit. And it's one example, a great example of the absolute hypocrisy of Donovan Sharpe. To be hypocritical, full of shit, BSer with this stuff. It's disgusting. So in summary, I want to point out that, in my view, very distinctly, that Donovan is engaging once again, I'll pull this up for you guys, in Darvo. Like I stated earlier in this video, Donovan, this is his go-to move. Basically to attack, roll off, peel off, and cry victim. Oh, why is Anthony attacking me? Why is he such a meanie? Why is he making memes about me? Well, you shouldn't start fights, Donovan. You start fights with a lot of people, and then it blows up in your face, and then you wonder why. Just like with the MGTOW guys. You go up to their fucking channel, these fucking people, you call them gay. You go up to this MGTOW black pill hornet's nest, and you start beating it with a fucking stick. They come out and they sting you, and they fuck with you, and they suspend your Twitter account and shit. You're a fucking idiot, man. And it all comes back to Darvo and gaslighting, this kind of bullshit. I would add gaslighting as well, specifically for the attack video where he goes on John Samez's channel. And it's much more extensive than the short 10-minute video. This is over an hour of character assassination in public on a channel that he doesn't even own, which he then publishes again on his own channel. So he broadcasts this 65-minute attack video to over 350,000 men. And then just gaslights me and says, I'm not attacking you. No, you're like a high school fucking cheerleader that goes around gossiping, stirring up shit, attacking people, and then you just peel off and play victim and cry victim. Why is everybody picking on me? Well, it's because you're a fucking asshole and you start shit and you start fights, and then you run away like a little girl crying to your mommy about it like a fucking mama's boy. So that's a summary of this segment. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. On to the next segment. Now, throughout this video, I've been exposing the ways that Donovan so far has been hypocritical. He's been deceptive. I've even shown you the third-party, neutral party opinions and takes and interpretations on what's going on. For example, from Tony Bruno, John Sames, Steve the Dean Williams, on the various attacks that Donovan has made on me and things that he's done in public, what their thoughts are, as well as my own, as well as the very physical, blatant hypocrisies, such as with the Make Women Great Again hat, attacking it without giving an explanation for it, all those kind of things. However, this video is about to get a lot more serious, and I mean that, so buckle up and put your coffee down for a second here. What I'm about to expose to you is a Donovan Sharpe who presents to be, he has a girlfriend, he's in a relationship, cohabitating. He claims he's in a relationship and that he has a girlfriend. This is false. For almost 2 years now, Donovan Sharpe has been secretly married to a woman that he goes by Devon Sharpe. You might know her from his YouTube channel. She used to be called Sharpe Assist. Then once they got married, she became Devon Sharpe. Interesting how that works, huh? In July 2019, late July. So we'll get more into who she is, and she's actually a public figure, by the way, and we'll demonstrate why that is in a little bit. But Donovan is in a marriage and has every intention of spending the rest of his life with this woman, Devon Sharpe. Here's a picture of them, for example. These are publicly available off their social media and things. Donovan has been posting pictures of her all over his YouTube, pictures of her ass and stuff all over his public Instagram, even his Twitter and stuff, all kinds of stuff, right? These are publicly available. Well, his Twitter got suspended, but it's still available on his Instagram and YouTube community posts and all that. So he's been secretly married to this woman and lying about it for years at this point, almost 2 years come July. So let's show a little clip here too of what exactly I mean by lying. This is a video recently filmed in Miami, Florida, filmed a few weeks ago, where he explicitly publicly lies about this and mocks it, trying to evade it.
You know
Yes, yes. Listen, I have a confession to make. Confession to make. Yes, I am secretly married to Devon.
There you go.
Unbelievable.
Let's watch that one more time just so it really sinks in. What you're seeing, what you're witnessing, even how uncomfortable it is and cringeworthy. Give it a watch one more time here.
You know
yes. Listen, I have a confession to make. Confession to make. Yes, I am secretly married to Devon.
There you go.
Unbelievable.
So what Donovan is doing is denying through, in the comments that on that video get roasted, they roast him. He's basically, through comedy and humor, he's trying to brush off the accusations that he is secretly married to this woman, which was first exposed by MGTOW Dictionary several months ago. They have entire videos, multiple, not just one here. We see the married dating coaches, but several, and they've exposed Donovan for many months now that he is secretly married to the woman that you guys know as Devon Sharpe. As we're showing here, they even have a video trailer. That's where the screenshot's from, is still, where she's in a video trailer, right? She's a public figure, part of the show, a moderator, actually. So it was first exposed by them, but more recently, more credibly by me, as someone who's known Donovan for several years, has met him and his wife in real life at the 21 convention, as we've discussed at length here at the in the show, in the video. So I came out more recently and finally confirmed this for the MGTOW guys who have been citing this for several months now. Here's my take on it recently on Tony Bruno's channel. You can see for yourself how it goes. Like, if Donovan should own up to his mistakes and lose a lot of money for it. For example, Donovan Sharpe got secretly married to his girlfriend back in 2019.
Oh.
A lot of people don't like that, don't want to hear that, but that's what happened. He even had a 1-year anniversary in Florida back last year in 2020, but people don't know about this. But then Donovan goes anti-marriage on his channel all day long, right? If his audience knew that, he'd lose a lot of money. So he lies about it consistently, over and over and over again, just like Rollo. These are the ways these guys get defrauded in ways they don't realize. So this is a big problem for Donovan. He is secretly married. He has been married for almost 2 years. And whether or not he's legally married is a separate issue, and we're going to investigate that now, what that means, what I'm talking about in that regard. But he had a wedding with her in late July. He exchanged vows with her. He exchanged rings. I've seen the ring personally, as have another half a dozen speakers at the 21 convention 2019, where she was showing off this wedding ring, claiming it was a wedding ring, wearing it on her left-handed ring finger, where you're supposed to wear a wedding ring. She wore it to this event, had dinner with these speakers, and showed it to many of them. I'm not the only one that's known this. A lot of us have known this for a long time. I'm not going to name names, too many here, but many of them know it. And it's a complicated, delicate issue, at least early on. You know, when someone gets married, they don't necessarily want to make it public. They're a public figure like Donovan. Maybe he has a reason for keeping it private for a few weeks or even a few months, maybe, right? But we're coming up on 2 years now. And this video that I just showed you, and I'll show it to you one more time, this quick clip. This is after he has been exposed by the channel here publicly, with public interest and fair use, and they're demonstrating that he is in a marriage with this woman, what he calls a marriage. He calls himself her husband, and he calls her his wife. This is how they operate in real life, and this is a fucking problem because it shows intent. Because after he was exposed here on this channel, and by me in the clip I just showed you, what does he do? He goes down to Florida, on Florida soil, in Miami, Florida, after he was exposed repeatedly to almost 300,000 YouTube subscribers. He says this shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Listen, I have a confession to make. Confession to make. Yes, I am secretly married to Devon.
There you go.
Unbelievable.
Ha ha ha. Real funny. You do have a confession to make, Donovan. You're married to that woman. I'm going to prove that right fucking now. And it's going to hurt. And I don't give a fuck. Let's get into it. So some backstory, first of all. Donovan, I don't know whether or not he's legally married. And let's investigate what exactly the hell that means. Can you be married without being legally married? Well, let's investigate. This is an article from about Rand Paul on MSNBC. There's also articles like this on CNN, Time Magazine, all kinds of things. Rand Paul is an advocate, sitting U.S. Senator from Kentucky, by the way. Rand Paul is an advocate for what's called the privatization of marriage or private marriage. So is his father, Ron Paul, former congressman, 3-time presidential candidate, and medical doctor. He's a big advocate of private marriage as well. Essentially, like the article here in MSNBC talks about, it is removing government from the whole marriage equation completely, making it a private, religious, or otherwise spiritual, personal ceremony that still has potential legal ramifications in terms of contract law, but definitely social, family type relationships. It's declaring intent to be married, that someone is your wife and the other person is the husband, to build a family, to be married and to be together, and for people to respect that. Now, this is something that some of you do know, some of you don't, so just for everyone watching, this is something that I did and I pioneered years ago in the manosphere personally, something that even Rollo Tomasi has commended me on his blog, The Irrational Male. This is back not too long ago, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, and he actually compliments me on what I did with private marriage by learning from guys like Rand Paul that talk about these issues philosophically and in a legal sense. Well, what kind of changes can be made in the United States? So Rollo actually compliments me here, someone who me and him don't get along at all, but Donovan is a huge fan of. And I got the idea again from Rand Paul and to a lesser extent his father, Ron Paul, as well as the men's rights community, Paul Elam and these other speakers and stuff, who are very critical, and rightly so, of how men are treated and fathers are treated in divorce court and family court in the United States. I believe, like many others in the manosphere, that men are not treated fairly in those kind of court systems, and that by inviting the government into your home and into your family, into your life and your relationship, you're inviting a necessary risk. You're exposing yourself to risk of the government fucking things up through bureaucracy, incompetence, malice, tyranny, whatever you want to call it. The government fucks a lot of things up in marriage, and it's just stupid. I don't want them in my life. And I was actually married years ago to a woman that some of you know is Medusa. Her real name formerly was Marilee. I currently don't know what it is. That's a whole separate fucking story. I gave a speech on that marriage here. You can still see it on YouTube, called Marrying Medusa, How to Survive a Female Psychopath. I was very clear in that speech what happened during that relationship, including the private marriage issue that you see here discussed by Rand Paul. This is not a secret to my fans and fans of 21 Studios. This is us here together. This is a picture from the wedding itself. We actually had a speaker marry us. So that's us married at the wedding. Here's the speaker, Greg Swan, speaking at the 21 convention for his second time in 2014 in Tampa. So this is us. This is what we did. I did it very much inspired by Rand Paul and his father, Ron Paul, and to a lesser extent, the manosphere, men's rights community, and all that. It was complicated, and I thought this up on my own, and it really protected me, as Rollo Tomasi cites, from potential negative consequences in divorce court. I completely sidestepped that and evaded it by being intelligent, even though the relationship was otherwise obviously not very fun, not very healthy, quite toxic. And the speech there is available. You can go watch and discover what happened. But if you notice what I'm telling you here very clearly, is that this was not a secret. It was live streamed on the YouTube channel. There's a video that I gave that explicitly indicates it was not a legal marriage, it was a private marriage. And we were very clear about this. She even introduces herself here as Marilee Johnson on the 21 Report with one of our speakers.
Hey, Marilee Johnson here with the 21 Report, and we're here with Sock, and you just gave your 2014 keynote address. Great speech.
So, this is not a secret for many years on the channel. You guys could go, those videos are still available. You could see that. It was years ago a controversy in and of itself. The issue is that Donovan did this too, and he's been lying about it for several years, which I did not tell him to do at any fucking point. In fact, he brings a bad name to the very concept of private marriage by lying about it and being a hypocritical, fraudulent scumbag piece of shit about it. He makes it look stupid, and he gives ammunition to the feminists by doing it this way, by being a fucking liar and a fucking fraud. One more time just to roll the tape before we get more into this.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Listen, I have a confession to make. Confession to make. Yes. I am secretly married to Devon.
There you go.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable. Let's get into it, Donovan. So first of all, Donovan took up an interest in this in late 2018 on his first show, the Sharp Reality and whatnot. He had me on his show. This is the Patreon post before he brought it live on YouTube where we did the interview. Thousands and thousands of people saw it before he later took it down. Questions for tonight's appearance by Anthony Johnson about private marriage. And he actually then emailed me many of the questions that he got from his Patreon fans about private marriage. This is in late 2018. He would later get married in July 2019 to this woman known as, again, Devon Sharpe. So these are some of the questions. This is the Patreon. The YouTube video no longer exists, that link, but there is a clip of it somewhere on his Patreon still. You can go listen to the audio of what went on there before he got married to Devon Sharpe. Again, I want to make it clear that Donovan does not claim, he explicitly claims as in that video that he is not married to that woman. He is mocking it and trying to comedically disarm it and get away from it and distance himself from that idea. That accusation that has been going on for months now on the MGTOW Dictionary channel, as well as the clip I showed you that went to almost 300,000 subscribers about Tony Bruno's channel about Donovan Sharpe being married. I explicitly make that claim. I stand behind it and I mean it 1,000%. In fact, I invite Donovan to sue me for defamation if that is not true and that is false. Sue me, motherfucker. I fucking dare you because you're fucking lying and I fucking know it. So let's get more into it with the questions. We got the questions here that he emails me. We got the Patreon post. It's still available there. In public, you can see, and there's various, Donovan repeatedly claims this woman is his girlfriend. He does not claim she is his wife. He negates that with intent down in Miami, Florida very recently. All right. So we got a big problem here. He's asking me for months leading up to the wedding about all this stuff going on. He now claims that this guy named Sean Brady, is one of his best friends apparently, that, this guy is going to get privately married. He has questions for me that are more specific than what we had on the show, right? You guys can read this. You can pause it if you want. I'm not going to read the whole thing for you. But basically, it's someone claiming to be in April 21, 2019, one of Donovan's close friends. So close, in fact, that Donovan is going to be his best man at his wedding in late July, exactly when Donovan got married. Interesting how that works, huh? Here's Donovan indicating that email from Sean Brady is supposed to be real. Sean Brady is supposed to be a real human being, a real man that Donovan knows from college or something. So here it is here. I would love to, but I'm the best man at my best friend's wedding, the one who's getting privately married. Okay, confirming the legitimacy of this email. This is a real email sent by someone that he knows. He goes here. He's asking me for more and more questions well after the interview in his show, right? After his fans were exposed to the idea and all that, he's asking me for more stuff. A couple of questions off the air, just a phone combo. We did have that conversation, by the way, and he asked me much more specific questions than were previously discussed on the show that you guys saw here and on his Patreon and on his YouTube. Now we have this Sean Brady guy coming out of nowhere. Interesting. I never heard of this guy. For those of you who are fans, you ever heard about his friend Sean Brady? Neither have I. It keeps going. There's a whole bunch of these. My buddy Sean's going to email you about private marriage, blah, blah, blah. I'll let him know. I tell Donovan here I'm busy, too busy with the events to even answer the email that year. It keeps going. My best friend in college is interested in private marriage. Do I have your permission to give him your email? He's not going to quiz you, just the ins and outs, blah, blah, blah. It keeps going on and on and on about this Sean Brady guy. Here's the problem. This guy, Sean Brady, doesn't fucking exist. And I'm willing to go to court. I'm happy, eager, and willing and ready to go to court over it that Sean Brady is not a real human being that Donovan is claiming to be. It's 100% bullshit. Google, this is a Gmail address, by the way, from Sean Brady. So Google, Gmail. Google has a permanent IP address of where that email came from. And it came from your fucking house, Donovan, because Sean Brady doesn't exist. You were not the best man at his wedding. There's not a single photo of you in existence being a best man at your friend's wedding, because that dude doesn't fucking exist. It was your fucking wedding. You want to know how? So we have all this corroborating evidence, I guess you'd call it, of Donovan getting increasingly interested over and over and over again with private marriage out of nowhere, after seeing me do it on my own years prior with another woman. We then have the invention of this guy who no one's ever fucking heard of. Donovan is pestering me about over and over and over again, private marriage and his friend and this and that. And he just won't stop. I'm busy with events, this and that. You know, it doesn't seem to be a big deal. I explained it as well as I could on the show. It was a pretty long show. It was almost like an hour or something, you know, on his Patreon and all that. So what are all these specific questions, and why is he white knighting for his friend so hard? His friend could easily talk to an attorney. Donovan indicates, you know, to his friend that I'm not an attorney. Of course I'm not. An attorney could explain to him much better what the ins and outs of what this direction in life could go to, what its course of action for trying to get married and build a family without the government could do. Donovan is obsessed with it. But here's the kicker, guys. Here's what's really going to fucking, you know, fuck up your whole day. Donovan Sharpe, right here with George Bruno. Donovan Sharpe asked George Bruno to marry him. I know this for a fact. He asked George Bruno to marry him the exact same way that I had a speaker marry us, Greg Swan, from the 21 convention, and almost had Socrates marry us instead. It was a very tough call for me at the time for reasons that are just not important to the show. So Donovan did the same thing. He asked a speaker who he was close with, George Bruno, to marry him. George, of course, was busy at the 21 convention in Poland that year, so he couldn't go. Donovan even kind of fucks us up here, and he says now, let me see if I have it available for you guys. Yeah, it's not that important anyway. Donovan, by the way, later had his 1 year anniversary in Orlando, which you can see from this text, right after he ended up, 1 year later after getting married. So it is what it is. He asked George Bruno to marry him. The speakers have seen the wedding ring itself here. Many of them have seen it. She has explicitly claimed it's a wedding ring. She wears it on her ring finger, and it's a big-ass fucking ring. She's all about it, and she loves it. So why is Donovan lying about this? Well, we're going to explore that. But again, we need to reiterate that Donovan has repeatedly, he even had his honeymoon, by the way, down in Florida, right after getting married in July, when he was too busy to speak, of course, at the 21 convention in Poland in late July, because he was getting fucking married. One more time, this is Donovan Sharpe denying this in public after being exposed and accused of being married to this woman.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Listen, I have a confession to make. Confession to make. Yes. I am secretly married to Devon.
There you go.
Unbelievable.
That shows very clear intent to continue hiding this, even after he's been exposed on this channel and on the video clip I showed you where I accused him of being legally married, and I'm doing it again. Or not legally married necessarily. He may be legally married, he may not be. Me and my ex-wife, Medusa, as you guys know her, we're not legally married. What did we do? We did the things that I discussed on Donovan's fucking show, on the Patreon show, on the YouTube show. We had a wedding. We exchanged vows. We exchanged rings. Our families were present. We had a honeymoon in Hawaii, similar to what Donovan did in the Florida Keys. Picture I've right here. It's all over his social media still from when he did this. It was not a random vacation. It was a honeymoon after the wedding. So private marriage essentially is a method to avoid the government and still have a lot of the benefits of being married, a lot of the, maybe not benefits per se, but a lot of the functions that we talk, Rand Paul's discussing here. You know what me and my ex-wife did not do? We did not present as legally married. We filed our taxes separately. If we did something like rent a car where they ask you if you're married, we would say, hey, we had a wedding, but we're not legally married, so we can't do that. We were very clear about things at every step, just like I was on my YouTube channel about this relationship and this marriage. Donovan is trying to have his cake and eat it too. He wants to be privately married to this woman, Devon Sharpe, as she's called, and not be open and public about it, so that he can continue bitching about marriage in public indefinitely and not be considered a hypocrite. He is directly lying to his own audience, including on video in Miami, Florida, for direct financial benefit, so that he can keep this shtick up that he's anti-marriage and going to bitch about this and that and men getting divorced, raped, and all this stuff he talks about all the fucking time. Meanwhile, he's fucking married and hiding it and lying about it over and over and over again. His YouTube channel, let's have a look at his YouTube channel. Let's have a look here, guys. His YouTube channel has hundreds of videos, hundreds. For years now, almost 2 years, across all these hundreds of videos, he talks about Devon Sharpe all the fucking time, over and over and over again, this woman, right? His girlfriend, they cohabitate, blah, blah, blah. And he explicitly denies being married to her, and he is fucking married to her. And he asked George Bruno to marry them. On top of, pretending that he has his friend, the Sean Brady guy who doesn't fucking exist, over and over and over and over again. He bitches about this stuff. And the public even believes that he's not married, that he has a girlfriend, and they're just dating, cohabitating. No. Donovan Sharpe has every intention to continue lying about this across all these hundreds of videos, misleading the public and falsely advertising to them. Number one, that's a problem because he's fucking lying. That Sean Brady guy doesn't fucking exist. He asked George Bruno to marry them. Their wedding was in late July. There's pictures of it. There's fucking all kinds of evidence of it and shit. So I'm happy to go to fucking court over it, by the way, Donovan. So it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse, guys. And there's a big problem here too. Let's have a look at this. Number one, and we'll get into this more in a little bit, what Donovan is doing in Florida is directly misleading his audience and another audience that is directly promoting his product, including in that exact video. He is falsely advertising the nature of his relationship with this woman. This is false advertising. He is lying to these people, lying through comedy and humor and laughter and trying to claim he's secretly married. He, of course, is secretly married. He's trying to hide behind that like this fucking projection bullshit. Another problem is that in many states, he would be considered common law married. Perhaps not the state that he lives in, but in many states in the United States, he would be considered common law married, which is a form of legal marriage requiring a divorce to separate. That's also true in many countries, like Canada, for example. Like the whole country's like that. It's very easily to be considered common law married, which is a form of legal marriage. Even in states like Texas, you can get common law married, especially if you declare yourself, like Donovan and his wife have, to be married, to have a wedding. Whether or not they get the marriage license specifically from the state after the fact is irrelevant in some states and many countries like Canada. You are considered legally married. Donovan is engaging in material deception on this issue. And again, we'll dig into that more in a bit. This is a big fucking deal. He is a stone cold fucking liar on this issue, and he is fucking married. He did have a wedding. He exchanged vows with her. He intends to spend the rest of his fucking life with her. They traded rings, all this bullshit, honeymoon, the whole fucking works. And he goes in fucking public and says this bullshit.
You know yes, yes. Listen, I have a confession to make. Yes. I am secretly married to Devon. There you go. Unbelievable.
Yeah, real funny, man. Real funny. We'll investigate this more in a little bit, but that's kind of the basis here, guys. So in summary, Donovan Sharpe is married to the woman you guys know as Devon Sharpe. She is a limited purpose public figure. We're going to look into that in a second. He has been, parading this woman around as his girlfriend for a long time. And for a long time, she was just his girlfriend until late July 2019, when he got married to her. They had a wedding. At this point, I don't know whether or not they specifically have gone forward and gotten a marriage license. They could be common law married, perhaps. I don't know exactly the laws on where they got married and the state they live in and all these things. It's complicated. What's important is that Donovan is fucking lying about this. Donovan asked George fucking Bruno to marry him, to be the guy that married him. He asked George Bruno to fucking do that. And he's going to sit there in fucking public and lie to you guys like you're a fucking little bitch. That is how much he disrespects you and doesn't give a flying fuck about you. He will lie to your face to make a buck off you. For direct financial benefit, this fucking con artist will falsely advertise, mislead you, and lie to you in public explicitly, including after being called out on it and exposed. He doubled down. He didn't say nothing and ignore it. He could have said nothing, right? That was one of his options. He could have owned up to it, taken responsibility. Hey, guys, I actually did have a wedding with her a long time ago. It's kind of complicated. I talked to Anthony Johnson about it a lot. I asked George Bruno to marry us. I wanted to keep it private for a few months or a few years for these reasons. No, bullshit. He intended to keep that shit private indefinitely, hidden, secret from the public, which is not what I told him to do. And it fucks up the whole fucking thing and makes it look stupid to the public. In hundreds and hundreds of videos, he pretends that woman is still his girlfriend. It's a lie. That is his wife. He calls her his wife and she calls him her husband. That is how they fucking treat each other in real life. And in all these videos to over 100,000 men, he fucking lies to them. He lies and lies and lies over and over again. Fucking liar, fucking con artist, fucking fraud. Fuck you, Donovan. Continuing, and as with the last segment that you just watched, this video is going to get a lot more serious now. And before we get into that, though, how it's going to get serious and what's going to exactly happen here, how savage it's going to get, I want to remind any YouTube employees or contractors watching this video right now that the individual I'm discussing is evading several channel terminations on YouTube, which of course is grounds for having your channel instantly terminated once again. As evidence of that, you can actually check out this clip right here where he admits to it recently on YouTube.
And guys, and this is funny, when I lost my first of 2 YouTube channels, guys were telling me, go to BitChute, go to here, go to there.
So that's Donovan Sharpe, for any YouTube employees watching this right now. Here's his current channel. He has all these subscribers, all these views, and the channels that he lost are found in the description of this video, including here, where he was banned for prohibiting or severely violating hate speech. And on this channel for severely violating policies against spam, deception, practices, misleading content, etc. So if you're working for YouTube and watching this video, I encourage you to check that out. Have a good time. Be an easy ban, notch on your belt. Congratulations. Now, back to the task at hand of exposing the truth about Donovan Sharpe. First and foremost, I mentioned defamation, and I'm welcoming Donovan Sharpe to sue me for the allegations and the what's being exposed in this video. I encourage him to do that. If anything I'm saying is false, I know for a fact that everything I'm saying is basically true. I have direct evidence of that. I've heard it from Donovan's own mouth, or I know it to be true as a matter of physical fact in real life. And we're going to look into that here as well. But for those of you who are not familiar with defamation law and what defamation is, I'm going to read off some very basic things to you from a law firm. You can look up this concept yourself in legal philosophy. It's not that complicated, defamation lawsuits. So defamation, first and foremost, let's read it here. Defamation of character occurs when a person makes a published false and harmful statement about someone. Defamation takes 2 forms: slander, oral defamation, and libel, written defamation. There are a number of important defenses in a defamation lawsuit that could either eliminate the plaintiff's claim entirely or weaken it significantly. What is that? Absolute defenses. First and foremost, truth is an absolute defense to a defamation lawsuit. If the statement that is the subject of the suit is true and you can prove it, your attorney can move to have the plaintiff's claim dismissed. No one is punished for speaking the truth, even if it is an ugly truth. An ugly truth. So it is what it is. Donovan, you're welcome to sue me. I encourage you to do that. We can really get this into a battle in court. You are lying through your fucking teeth about numerous issues that we're investigating here in this video. I stand by every word coming out of my mouth, and I understand how serious it is, what we're going through here, and the allegations that I'm making, and the claims and the insults even. So continuing on, we're going to be looking at Devon Sharpe, who we've seen a little bit throughout this video so far. You guys might know her from this trailer that's coming out now on Donovan's channel, Devon Sharpe, formerly known as Sharpe Assist, which has annoyed some fans, but she was Sharpe Assist, and then after they got married, she instantly became Devon Sharpe. She's also here on his public Instagram and was previously on his public Twitter account before it got suspended by the Black Pill channels that we were looking at earlier. He also posts about her constantly on his YouTube channel. I am specifically making the claim that not only is Donovan a public figure, as we've discussed throughout this video, it's a limited public figure. Here we go. We discussed this earlier in the video. Donovan has a, I'm going to pull this up for you guys. Donovan is a public figure, and he has over 100,000 followers. He has basically an audience bigger than most newspapers. By every definition imaginable, he is a public figure himself, right? What his wife is something a little bit different. It's called a limited purpose public figure. You can read about what that is and look that up. It's basically another variation of a public figure. My ex-wife was one as well, because she was on the channel all the time, accumulating hundreds of thousands of interviews or views on the interviews that she did with the speakers that we filmed at our 21 convention events. And that makes her a public figure. 500,000 people knew exactly who she was by her face, identity, voice, all these things, right? Donovan Sharpe's wife, Devon Sharpe, as she's called, so Edwin Hopkins being the husband and then Devon Sharpe being the wife, is also a public figure. This video, I think, demonstrates that very, very clearly. That's a problem for Donovan, and we're going to see why that is. He's also been posting these kind of lewd pictures of her ass and her face for a long time on his channel. Not only his channel, but his Twitter accounts, Instagram accounts, all these things. This is his Twitter account before it got suspended. Here's his YouTube community post. He's constantly talking about her on video. She even joins him for various interviews and actually, brings her personality and her ideas to the stage. Here's an interview, for example, that Donovan hosted of her, and there's even more beyond that you can go find on their channel on YouTube. There's hundreds of videos where she's either talked about or directly is involved in the content with her voice and ideas and whatnot. And of course, as a moderator, as we've seen, she has her own video trailer here. Congratulations, Devon. You've made it to the big leagues, including with your ass all over Instagram and Twitter and YouTube and stuff. Congratulations. So I'm making the claim here specifically that not only is Donovan Sharpe a public figure, but so is his wife, Devon Sharpe, as she's known. So Evan Hopkins is a public figure. Donovan Sharpe is the cartoon character he's created, kind of like Batman. It's all fake, by the way. And Devon Sharpe, we're going to look into now as well what the truth behind that is. Before we do, I want to make it known right out of Donovan's mouth what her involvement is in the business. Is it a little bit? Is it a lot? What does she do exactly? Well, Donovan tells us. Enjoy.
These are guys who create channels to expose men like us because they know that if they directed their anger towards women, which is where their anger really lies, they'd be deplatformed, canceled, all the rest of that. But the men who make it out of the anger phase and begin to really understand women for who and what they are and continue to cultivate that knowledge will eventually come to the realization that even though most women are really only good for bedroom fun, that there are a lot of women out there who can be of service to us outside of the bedroom. Gerald obviously realized this a long time ago and utilizes women to his own advantage, and quite effectively, I might add. What men in this community need to understand is that women do have their uses outside of the bedroom. A lot of guys want to be meathead red pill guy and be like, I only use women for sex and I discard them immediately. I kick her out. Not understanding and recognizing certain qualities and traits in women that could benefit them financially, socially, or otherwise could make a tangible difference in their lives. They don't realize that. This is one of the reasons that I am currently in a cohabitating relationship with a woman almost a decade past the wall. She can code, she is an SEO expert, and she has handled millions of dollars in ad spend for a company that she eventually left to come work for me.
So there's a lot to unpack there. We're not even going to get into it in this segment, but just the total lack of self-awareness, his hatred of women, talking about them like fucking literal robots. We got the real true love angle there at the end, right? He married this woman that he's talking about here in the video. And he married her because she can code and do SEO and has handled all these sales and AdSense and stuff. That's just kind of fucked up in its own right. We're not even going to get into that here. What's important is what he mentioned at the end, right? What she does for him, that cohabitating relationship he's talking about, Devon Sharpe, that we're talking about here. And I'm specifically claiming now that she is a limited purpose public figure, and there's every reason to believe that. So what does she do for the business, though? Because she's not even just a public figure, a limited purpose public figure. She's heavily involved in the business. She's his SEO manager. She codes his website. He's bragged about that in public there and privately for years, making all these pages and stuff on the website constantly. She's a sales manager and an affiliate manager. She's basically his business manager. So this is kind of a problem that's been increasing for him over the years. And just so you guys are aware, I believe fully that Donovan has a one-itis relationship with this woman. One-itis is a classic manosphere term, one-itis. And really what it represents in wider culture is a toxic, unhealthy, codependent relationship that he has with this woman. He pedestalizes her. Now, this is very different from how he portrays it in public. It's the opposite, in fact, but he does in fact have a very severe case of one-itis. And that's why, in part, this woman has been getting more and more involved with his business over the years. She is, by de facto at this point, basically the business manager for Donovan Sharpe, the brand. Donovan Sharpe is not just a figure that represents Evan Hopkins. It is actually an entire YouTube channel and a business. Websites, Patreon, Instagram, all these brands and stuff, Twitter accounts, social media, TikTok. It's a whole business. And frankly, she is the brains of the operation. Donovan is not that intelligent. Room temperature IQ at best. At best. It is what it is. He's just kind of dumb. She is the one pulling the strings. She is the brains of the operation. She is the one driving him to make all these lies and do all these things. I believe firmly at this point, 100%. So she is a public figure, 100%. She's a limited purpose public figure. She does all kinds of interviews. She does all kinds of moderation for the channel. As Donovan has publicly claimed, she does all kinds of sales management, SEO management, website management. In private, he's claimed she's the affiliate manager. She's heavily involved in that business. And that makes her, in my mind, a public figure. I think it's very obvious, and that's not even a controversial statement, given what we can physically see her doing in real life and on the internet and stuff. What that means is she's not off limits. She's a public figure, just like Donovan, but in a more specific way. Donovan is a wider public figure with even more views as identity has been exposed even much more broadly. So let's look again at the specific portion of that clip that you guys are going to want to pay very close attention to now. Very close attention. Short version.
This is one of the reasons that I am currently in a cohabitating relationship with a woman almost a decade past the wall.
So the wall is something that Donovan talks about on his channel a lot. It's talked about in the Manosphere community a lot, all the time. The wall means the 30 wall. They say the wall is undefeated, all these little catchphrases, right? Women, they approach 30, they smash into the wall, their looks fall apart, they hit advanced maternity age, for example, medically at 35 years old. There's then like another wall at 40 and all this other stuff. But the wall itself, the wall means 30 years old. And what does he say? He's dating, this is recent too, this is a few weeks ago. What does he say here?
This is one of the reasons that I am currently in a cohabitating relationship with a woman almost a decade past the wall.
Almost a decade past the wall, almost a decade past 30. So that means maybe at minimum 36, most likely 37, 38, 39, somewhere between 35 and 40, closing in, almost a decade past the wall, right? Interesting that he mentions that. We can even look in public and people that discuss Donovan on Reddit, a major social media platform like Twitter or Facebook, they actually believe that he's dating a 36 plus year old woman, somewhere around that age. This is a few months ago, 8 months ago, looks like. There's another version of that somewhere over here I got. Here it is. Another commenter on a similar thread on this portion of Reddit that discusses Donovan Sharpe explicitly. And they believe he's dating a woman who's about 36 years old. Now, this is months ago, so maybe she's 37 or 38 now, maybe 39 at the oldest, right? Given what he's saying, almost a decade past the wall. Wrong, very wrong. And Donovan's been lying about this egregiously for a long, long time. Something that he bitches about publicly that women do. They lie about their age, right? This is not even just a manosphere thing, although it's discussed pretty heavily in the manosphere. But women lie about their age. It's a thing. And the manosphere, we discuss it not only on Donovan's channel, but 21 Studios and hundreds of other channels that we've been looking at, for example, throughout the show. Coach Greg Adams, Coach Red Pill, Coach Corey Wayne, these things. These are issues that we discuss in a cultural, social, and self-improvement sense. We want to understand culture, understand women, understand ourselves, our relationship to women, and all these things. Why do they do certain things? Donovan is claiming she's almost a decade past the wall. This is false, and it's been false for a long, long time. So, and he actually claims too that she's younger than him. Wrong, very wrong, Donovan. Big no-no. So Devon Sharpe's real name, a public figure, is Cynthia Ashlock. She goes by another name as well, last name Cynthia something else. She may have been married before, it looks like, and Donovan has not disclosed that. So I don't know exactly what's going on there. Someone else can investigate that. But Donovan claimed that his name is Edwin Hopkins, which is true and accurate, and Cynthia Ashlock is her real name. This is a text he sent me not too long ago. This is a picture of Cynthia Ashlock many years ago, looks like about 10, 15 years ago, versus the woman here that we see, Cynthia Ashlock, aka Devon Sharpe and Donovan Sharpe, or Donna, as I call him now. And how old do you guys think she is? He's claiming she's 36, these things, right? All this stuff we see on his Instagram. He's been in damage control, just rampantly posting about this woman everywhere that he can lately after the MGTOW guys at MGTOW Dictionary Channel exposed who he is exactly and what's going on there with his relationship. So he claims she is in her late 30s, and that is not the case. Cynthia Ashlock is 44 years old, almost 45 years old. So we have the public believing that she is in her late 30s, as Donovan discusses, again, right here.
This is one of the reasons that I am currently in a cohabitating relationship with a woman almost a decade past the wall.
Yeah, that's wrong, Donovan. This is your wife. This is her real name. This is the exact city that you two live in. I'm not showing the exact address, of course. So I'm keeping that concealed. She has gone by other last names. Cynthia, see, what is that? Fanshaw, excuse me. I believe that was her original last name before she got it changed to Ashlock for some reason. Obviously, it's not your original Hopkins last name for the marriage you guys had, the secret marriage, the secret wedding. My ex-wife, by the way, did legally take my last name, which you can do without a marriage license. You can go to the courthouse. You can get a new passport. You can get a new social security card. You can get a new driver's license. And with a judge, you can legally change your name. Anyone can. This woman has already changed her last name, and this is her current age, 44 years old. Donovan is claiming this woman is in her late 30s, 36, 37, something along those lines. People believe it. He talks about it all the time. All right, let's watch that one more time, just so you guys let it really sink in. Let it sink in. Sink your teeth on it, bro.
This is one of the reasons that I am currently in a cohabitating relationship with a woman almost a decade past the wall.
Yeah, that's just not true, Donovan. She's almost 45 years old. Donovan Sharpe is married to a woman who's almost 45 years old, a full year older than him, the exact opposite of what he claims. He has been lying about this very serious issue for a long time to deceive his audience, to deceive them, to sell products like Womanese and all this bullshit he sells, right? Because what does he say? What does he say, guys? What does he say on his channel? Let's have a look, right?
Dude, listen, man, my results speak for themselves. Speak for themselves. It is what it is.
They do speak for themselves, Donovan. Here's your results. You had a wedding with this woman. You are married to this woman. This is literally the best you could do. A woman who is now almost 45 years old and older than you. You have been lying about that. You have taken over half a decade off of her age to manipulate and control your audience and influence them to make sales. You've been lying to your audience for direct financial benefit. This is called fraud. It's called false advertising. It's called material deception. It is very serious. It is against the law. It is criminal in some states, in fact, not just civil. So you married this woman. She's 44, almost 45 years old, and she is older than you. And you have people in public believing that she is in her late 30s. You still claim she is in her late 30s. You've been publicly lying to hundreds and hundreds and thousands of fans that you have, millions of fans if you count, or just people, exposed to your content. You've been lying to millions of people in the United States and around the world about the nature of that woman's physical age. You have done the exact thing that you bitch on your channel about women doing, lying about their age. You fucking lied about her age. You did it for direct financial fucking benefit, to sell your fucking Womanese bullshit and your Patreon and all this fucking shit. You lie about this woman, Donovan. You lie and you lie and you lie. Her name is Cynthia fucking Ashlock, and she is 44 years old, almost 45 years old. This is fucked, man. This is super fucked. This is how incredibly low his respect is for his audience. He has zero respect for his audience. He disrespects them across hundreds and hundreds of videos, pretending that this woman, either directly and explicitly lying about her age or through omission referring to her about her age. In hundreds of videos, he's lying to these people over and over and over and over again. Lies, 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 lies. Hundreds of videos lying about her fucking age. He goes on other podcasts. He spread this bullshit all over the internet, and people fucking believe it. This is what people criticizing him think. They actually believe this bullshit. And what is the truth? Cynthia Ashlock, born August 6, 1976, a full year older than Donovan. Cynthia Ashlock is 44, almost 45 fucking years old. You have a big problem, Donovan. You want to know why? Because what you're engaging in is false advertising, and we're going to look into this more in a minute. It is criminal in some states and against the law in almost every state and against federal law. You're engaging in what's called material deception. You're lying about very basic, physical, serious facts about someone directly involved in your business manager, and your wife that you're secretly lying about as well, for direct financial gain. You are lying about her, right, on this woman, her age, right? Right here, Devon Sharpe, Cynthia Ashlock is 44, almost 45 years old, and you fucking lie about her because what? Because your results speak for themselves, right?
Dude, listen, man, my results speak for themselves. Speak for themselves. It is what it is.
Yeah, they sure do. You are a used car salesman and a Ford bed salesman. Hopefully the beds weren't used. You give used car salesman a bad name. You're explicitly lying about this woman in a very simple, basic way. You're a fraud. You were engaging in false advertising and breaking the law. You even did that in Florida. Look at this.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Listen, I have a confession to make. Confession to make. Yes. I am secretly married to Devon.
There you go.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable, Donovan. You're lying about the nature of your relationship with her, including after being exposed, and you're lying about her in numerous other ways in the state of New Jersey where you live, and other states you visited like Florida, like, for example, about her age. That's beyond fucked up. It's against the law. You've broken the law, Donovan. You're a piece of shit. You're a scumbag. You're a fraud, a fraudster, and just total trash, man. Human fucking garbage. Now, as I've discussed and as we continue through this video series, each segment is a little bit more savage and brutal than the previous one. Before we get into this current segment, I want to remind any YouTube employees or YouTube contractors reviewing this video after it was falsely or potentially maliciously reported with abuse, bots, lies, bullshit, whatever. I want you to remember very clearly that the subject in question, Donovan Sharpe, who we're exposing here for being a fraud, has been repeatedly evading channel terminations on YouTube, which are grounds, of course, for instant channel termination once again. Just a quick look at his confession over that issue.
And guys, and this is funny, when I lost my first of 2 YouTube channels, guys were telling me, go to BitChute, go to here, go to there.
So there you have it. That's Donovan Sharpe admitting that 2 prior YouTube channels were deleted by YouTube, terminated, banned, lost. Here is his current channel, over 110,000 subscribers, all these views. This is no less than the 3rd channel he's had. The prior 2 were terminated by YouTube. This one by him, and any YouTube employee can easily review this and find out that it was operated, run by Donovan Sharpe. It was all about him, just like his new channel. This one was banned for severe violations with hate speech. And this one was banned for severe violations with spam, deceptive practices, misleading content. Surprise, surprise, right, guys? So any YouTube employees watching this, put another notch on your belt and knock this channel out. You'll have a great day. Make it a very easy one. Swish, slam, dunk, nothing but net. Have fun. Now, as for this video, or this segment of the video that we're going into here, we're going to be revealing what the, well, I'll just leave it to, someone I interviewed recently, Migtai Dictionary, MD, is some of you might know him on YouTube. His YouTube channel that we've been reviewing here at Migtai Dictionary. Now, in the following video, he reviews what Donovan's wife actually looks like. As we discussed previously in this video, Donovan Sharpe's wife, Devon Sharpe, aka Cynthia Ashlock, is actually a public figure. She goes by Devon Sharpe. Her real name, of course, is not Devon or Sharpe. It is Cynthia Ashlock. This is who she is. Donovan's been lying about the nature of his relationship with this woman. He's been lying about her physical age, egregiously, repeatedly, compulsively, pathologically, to sell products and courses deceptively through false advertising, such as Womanese volume, whatever the fuck. There's like 10 volumes of this shit or something at this point, 100 at this point, for all we know. And all sorts of false, fake bullshit he's been engaging in. But very specifically in this video, we're going to be looking at her appearance. Now, Donovan lately, since he was exposed by the Migtai Dictionary channel, he has been on a posting spree, posting nonstop pictures of their lewd, of her face and her ass and all these things. That's on his public Instagram, publicly available for everyone to go see. This is on a YouTube community tab. It's a little bit more tame. Heavy makeup in some of these photos, angles, back shots, all these very interesting things. His Twitter account before it got banned, more lewd shots. This is actually one we'll look at in a little bit here. What I want you guys to notice is that in none of these photos is there a single clear shot of her body at any point. None, not one. If you go through his entire social media accounts on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever the fuck, you will never find a single shot that is a clear, straight up shot of her in a bikini or whatever, exposing what her body actually looks like. It's always this bullshit of collages, small pictures. There's even food hiding some of her body in some of these for whatever fucking reason it was photoshopped in. It's always at special angles. Donovan's always in the shot covering up a lot of her body. It's goofy faces, heavy makeup in some of these. All the shit that Donovan, by the way, bitches about, of course, on his channel. And, I'm not even disagreeing with that in some cases. Women go on social media accounts. They use Photoshop, extremely heavy makeup, special apps on their phone. They take a million photos at different angles to, pick the best one out of 150 photos. So it's all very clever, basically deceptive marketing that they do in the dating marketplace today. And we have a right as men to complain about that and say, hey, that's not okay. I don't like that. That's bullshit. And if you see fraud, then say fraud, of course, you are a fraud. Nicholas Nason Taleb. So again, this is what Donovan's pretending this woman looks like, kind of like her age. He's lying about her age, as I discussed and proved. He's lying about the nature of his relationship with this woman. He got married to her and pretended to have his best friend do it or some shit. He even, of course, asked George Bruno, once again, to marry him. The man that we see right here, George Bruno on the right. So it's all bullshit. But let's now look, let's have Migtai Dictionary comment on what Donovan's wife looks like. The real, and we're going to see actually real photos of what she actually looks like in real life. Donovan will attempt to report this video and get it taken down, and it's bullshit. This woman is a public figure, as we've discussed. She is his business manager. She is all over the place. All these things, right, that we went over in the video. Scroll back and you'll see it. Or click the link to the main video if this is a segment you're watching later, clipped on our channel or somewhere else. Let's have Migtai Dictionary provide some commentary on this, and let's see what his wife actually looks like.
The lies of dating coaches.
Let's bring Devon into the conversation. Devon
Yeah. Yeah, let's bring Devon in.
is a 7.
Really?
She's a 7. A lot.
Okay. Oh, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. This might be Devon's sister, but it ain't the woman that's cleaning his shop. Let's look at this. Bang, right there. You think that's the same woman as this? You have got to be kidding me. See, they act as if the wall doesn't exist, but it does. It definitely does. This is, again, the lies of dating coaches. 7 with a blue shirt on, cleaning his studio. And notice right here, he's got a picture with his boyfriend, George Miller, right there. Instead of having a picture with his wife, because this ain't his girlfriend, we already see that, hey, Anthony Johnson exposed it. He married this girl. And it was said on many emails that he adopted her sister's kid, which could be her kid. You know, it could be her kid, but we know one thing for sure. This woman right here is not the same woman as this woman here. This is the lies of dating coaches.
A lot of people think, oh my God, Devon's not a 9 or a 10. She's a 7.
Oh, we know she's not a 9 or 10, and we know that she's not even a 7. We can see that right here. The wall is real. The wall is real, and this is her cleaning your studio. This is her in there currently. So don't try to bring this picture on over here. Please, don't try to do that, Eddie. Dirty Eddie, don't do that.
She's a 6.5. She has a 6.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Oh, my goodness. 6.5. Anybody can look at this and say, look, man, on a good day, nah, 3, that isn't even, that's like warping the scale. 3 maybe on a scale of 1 to 100, maybe. No, hell no, man. And nothing against her. She might be a nice person saying, look, man, you adopted her kid, her sister's kid, and all of that, and that's why she's with you, Dirty Eddie. That's the only reason she would be with you.
6.5 face. She's not
No, he didn't.
Listen, she's not. Listen, she has above average looks.
No.
Slightly above average looks in the face.
Nope.
Her face, in her face, she's
you could see the hesitant. You could see the bullshit again.
6 on the worst day with no makeup.
Oh, no. On a scale of 1 to 100.
On her best day, her face is a 7.
No way.
Her body, on the other hand,
yes, let's get to this one. Yes, let's get to this one.
Is an 8.5.
Oh, no, he didn't. You telling me that's an 8.5? You have got on a scale of 1 to 100. No, hell, I don't even know what to say anymore. This is just, it exposes their own lies right on camera, you know. And he had to make this. You know why he made this, right? In response to Anthony Johnson putting that shit out there on showing that he married this. He married this and tries to say he's anti-marriage. Let's hear what this was say.
Her body is an 8.5. Her body is an 8 on her worst day. On her best day,
he don't got no current pictures. He don't got no old pictures of her body. Oh my God! The current ones are here, and this was sent to me. This was sent to me right here. You look at this. I don't even. Yeah. Okay, let's see what dirty.
Her body is a hard 9.
No way.
Maybe even a little higher depending upon what she is wearing. And anybody who just take a stroll through my social media feed.
Oh,
Devin's
right here. We
God,
strolling through it right here. We strolling through it right here.
So the first thing Donovan's going to do is try to report this video and claim all kinds of bullshit to get it removed. It's a bunch of nonsense. And for example, I know for a fact that is his wife, this woman right here. I have met this woman repeatedly in real life. I'm looking right at her. This is exactly who she is. Cynthia Ashlock, Devon Sharpe on the internet. This is her. This is her cleaning up Donovan's studio, the studio that really she's a business manager of. They're not even as revealing, of course, as what he's been posting on social media, which is a lot more lewd and risque, let's call it. Now, we have a problem here. Now, MD called this out pretty well. And also, Donovan was claiming this woman right here that we're looking at is a 9 or better in the body. He is alluding to the idea that this woman right here is a 9 or better, potentially a 9.5 or a perfect 10 out of 10. This woman right here, a perfect 10 is within the possibility on her best day. He just said that on video. You saw that. This is a problem. This is actually, let's actually look at something here too. Well, let me mention here as well. Like I mentioned, Donovan has been posting. These people reveal what she looks like. This channel and a few others like it. Black Pill Truth channel that we looked at earlier and things like that. They expose what she looked like. The guy you just saw comment was from this channel, right? Since these videos started coming out pretty recently, they found what she actually looks like in real life, and I can confirm that is what she looks like, and that is who she is. He's been posting nonstop about this stuff on social media. Here's on his YouTube community post, here on his public Instagram, and here on his Twitter. This one on Twitter is particularly revealing because one of the fans asked him, he's basically responding to Donovan, Moto, but definitely not an 8, more like a 6. You're doing pretty good though. Donovan responds, laugh out loud, exclamation point. Who said she was an 8? He repeats later, this guy says, don't get offended. Donovan says, laugh out loud, nobody's offended, but my girl is not an 8, nor have I ever said she was one. Haha. Actually, Donovan, you just claimed she was a 9 or better. A 9 or better in the body. So you're full of shit. You can't even keep track of your own lies like a typical pathological compulsive liar. You have wrapped yourself up into a false reality full of so many fucking lies like a spider web, you can't even keep your own fucking lies straight, your own bullshit straight. This woman, by the way, by no objective standard, is a perfect 10 out of 10. None whatsoever. Not a 9, not a 9.5. This is not a matter of opinion. And for example, let's call this out here too. It's not just me criticizing this or even MD. I interviewed recently on the Redman group, Coach John Anthony. This is a guy who, whether you like it or not, I don't care what your opinion is, he's a dating coach who's banged over 1,000 women, over 1,300 women this guy's had sex with. He looked at Donovan's wife, did his own exposing video, and he commented on it here, and he asked me if I agreed. So he commented on Donovan's wife, similar to what you just saw in that MD video, that little clip. He said, like MD did, that she's a 3. I agreed publicly on the Redman group, and I stand by that. That woman, in my opinion, is a 3, right here. A 3. Maybe on the best day of her life right now at almost 45 years old, a 4. That's it. There's an issue here because Donovan's going to say, oh, it's a matter of opinion. Beauty is subjective and eye of the beholder, blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. No. There are objective standards we have to hold people to, and people can have an opinion, and that can give you a little bit. Like if you were arguing Donovan, she was a 4, and she's your wife, I'm not going to say anything. It's your fucking wife. You want to marry her, spend your life with her. God bless, man. Do your thing. If that's what you want to spend your life with, that's the best you can do. As you say, Donovan, your results speak for themselves, right? Isn't that what you say? Let's have a look.
Dude, listen, man, my results speak for themselves. It is what it is.
They sure do, Donovan. You married this woman. This is you and her when you're married, right here. You married this woman. You asked George Bruno to marry you. You've lied about her age. She's almost 45. She's older than you. This woman is in no way, shape, or form, like you just said, her body a 9 or better, a 9.5 or a 10 is what that means. If this is a 9, 9.5, or a 10, what the fuck is a 5 in your book? I'd hate to see the worst you can do. I'd hate to see what that even looks like. Because I agree with Coach John Anthony, once again, that your woman is a 3. Just like MD said, I agree with both of them. Donovan is not just stretching the truth a little bit. He's not just kind of wrapped up in some love story. It's not even just one-itis, so I think one-itis is a factor here, a major factor in influencing this rapid expansion of her rating that he's giving her as her husband, right? This woman is a 3. Donovan is exaggerating this to a 9. He's tripling her value, essentially, compared to 2 independent analysis. One here from Coach John Anthony, who's had sex with a huge number of women. I believe that's true, whether you like it or not, and whatever your moral evaluation of that is, I don't care. Just like we had MD comment as well a second ago, of course, that she is in fact a 3. She's a 3. Donovan is lying about this. He's basically the Bernie Madoff of the manosphere, or the Enron accounting of the manosphere. He is rapidly expanding, massively expanding her. He's faking it. He's lying about her appearance and hiding it. Remember, he's striking down these channels. He's striking down the black pill channels and all these different things so that he can sell these fucking courses womanese. If he put a picture on the top of the sales page, or his woman did, Devon is the business manager and the coder, as he says at the website. If he put this picture at the top of the sales page for womanese right here, not a single fucking person would buy it, or he would have a 99% reduction in sales. That's why he hides it. He's been striking down channels and anybody trying to expose what she actually looks like, and instead he misleads the public with false information and bullshit. All this stuff, he's on rapid autofire with this stuff lately, damage control. It's a PR move to control those dudes at MGTOW Dictionary and John Anthony, exposing him for the fraud that he fucking is. All these fucking pictures, all this lewd shit to try to deceive people, all these angles and collages and all this little bullshit. Again, there is not a single fucking photo you can find of her on the internet. Otherwise, outside of the ones that I showed you here in the studio, right? Here and here, that clearly show what her body looks like. Donovan is fully aware of this. He is lying through his fucking teeth about what she looks like. He calls her a 9 or better, her body. You gotta be fucking kidding me. That isn't just him being in love and all this stuff. It is lying to sell bullshit. To sell this fucking bullshit right fucking here so he can scam all these fucking men out of money. All these guys on his channel. These fucking innocent, hurt, wounded men looking for real advice from real men with real ideas that are not frauds. He is deliberately defrauding these people with false advertising, calling this a fucking 9. Where is it? This woman. No, definitely not. This? You got to be fucking kidding me. Now, we're going to get into it here in a second. I've demonstrated to you now in plain English and with proven facts and evidence and this and that Donovan Sharpe has been deliberately, intentionally, repeatedly misleading the public and lying about his relationship, the nature of his relationship with Devon Sharpe, another public figure like himself, as well as her age, her physical age. He's been lying about that for a long time, many years now. This is very serious, and he's also been lying about her physical appearance. If you notice, he's lying about basically everything important with her that might be important to men, potential customers, and fans that watch his videos to purchase products from him like this. He has many of these, of course, other volumes of Womanese. He has Patreon, people can give him money. He's a salesman. He's constantly selling stuff just like he used to sell used cars. Now, here's a quick clip where Donovan actually owns up to how fat his wife is. He calls her fat, and he actually wants her to lose weight. Let's listen to what Donovan has to say about this, about his wife.
I am withholding sex from my girlfriend until she loses weight. The reason for this is because...
So some of you are going to see that and you're going to say that's abusive. He actually goes into state 5 pounds. He wants her to lose 5 pounds, demand she lose 5 pounds of fat until she will fuck her again. Some of you are going to say this is an abusive relationship. Frankly, I don't really blame you, although I'm not going to get into that in the show. You're free to make your own tweets and videos and whatnot, criticizing, the nature of what he's saying there. You can also go find that video. It's still publicly available on his channel. There's other commenting videos criticizing and attacking it for basically being an abusive relationship. But he specifically states that she needs to lose weight and she's 5 pounds overweight. In a sense, kind of owning up to the fact that she's overweight. In fact, I think by medical standards, she would be either overweight or at the early stages of obesity, according to a BMI that we're looking at here. So Donovan's basically aware of this and he's just lying about it. He's lying about it on his Instagram. He's basically engaging in a damage control type PR stunt to dissuade the public from learning about videos like we've seen on MGTOW Dictionary that reveal what she actually looks like, which is this. And I can confirm that based on meeting her in real life at events like this is what she actually looks like in real life. Not that attractive. God bless if you want to marry her, but don't look at that and tell me it's a fucking 9 or a 10. Complete bullshit. Donovan fucking knows it and he says it to sell bullshit. It's false advertising. It's fake. It's garbage. It's bullshit. He knows it and she knows it too. She's cool with it because she's the brains of the operation and she is directly financially benefiting from him lying to the public about her. She's fucking in on it the whole fucking time. All these fucking guys on YouTube that pay his Patreon and buys products and shit, it's all bullshit. You guys are simps. You have been cucked by that woman using Donovan Sharpe to manipulate you and get money out of you with lies and fraud and deception, material deception and false advertising. It's bullshit, 100% bullshit. It's a fucking scam. In this segment, we're going to explore the true nature of Donovan's home life, his family life, so to speak, and what's going on in that regard, above and beyond the previously exposed secret marriage and secret wedding that he's engaged in with his wife, Devon Sharpe, aka Cynthia Ashlock, in real life. So Edwin Hopkins has been lying, as I've exposed to you guys, in numerous ways about his real life, his relationships, the age of his wife. He's been lying egregiously and explicitly about that for many years. The appearance, all these things, manipulations, false advertising, essentially. What we're going to get into in this segment is even more serious, above and beyond those allegations that are at this point proven true. So those of you that know Donovan, you follow Edwin Hopkins, you follow his channel. He's alleged on his Instagram, he calls himself a red pill dating expert. He bitches a lot satirically about what's called a red pill meathead, an alpha gym bro, so to speak, an alpha male. A red pill alpha male cartoonized to this exaggeration, right? And while he satirizes it, he also basically presents himself in that same exact light in public, like Batman almost. You have Edwin Hopkins in real life, and then you have him behind the scenes or in public, you have this internet persona known as Donovan Sharpe. He has over 100,000 YouTube subscribers. He's a public figure. We've discussed all that in this video so far. So there's another thing that's going on behind the scenes, though, that's really big, and you heard that discussed previously a little bit by MD in the clip I just showed you in the last segment about him MD alleges him to have MGTOW dictionary, alleges Donovan to have a secret niece that he adopted, these sorts of things. So we're going to investigate that, what that looks like. Before we do, I want you to take a look at this tweet from Coach Greg Adams, who I have nothing but love for. I think he's amazing and savage and the real deal, 100% authentic. I've met him in real life, and I've seen him in action in real life. I've seen a big old Florida woman try to get up in his grill, and he handled it perfectly. Perfectly. Strong frame. Flawless fucking victory. I love that man. But we're going to show here what he's tweeting and then what Donovan is engaging with in conversation with Coach Greg and compare and contrast the two, along with some text. So here's a tweet from Coach Greg. This was not too long ago, 2/23/21, early or late February there. Coach Greg Adams says, being a stepfather to another man's kids is one of the dumbest decisions a man could ever make with his life. One more time, just so it's got on audio. Being a stepfather to another man's kids is one of the dumbest decisions a man could ever make with his life. Now, this opinion is not unique to Coach Greg. This is pretty much consensus in the manosphere. At least it's widely held opinion that you could find almost anywhere, not just Coach Greg's Twitter or his YouTube channel even. You could find it probably on Sandman, single moms, all this stuff, and the beta males, as they call them, that wife them up. You could find it on Richard Cooper's channel, someone I don't even get along with. And of course, on Donovan's channel, he bitches endlessly about single mothers and their relationships and the men that take the children in from the single moms and all this stuff. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos in the manosphere that discuss these issues, including on Donovan's own channel, and including, most especially, again here, the people that Donovan surrounds himself with constantly. Donovan claims to be a big fan of Coach Greg Adams. He's interviewed him numerous times and all that. So it's very common. And he's interviewed as well some of the people I just showed you. He just published a video, I think yesterday or today, of Richard Cooper, for example, the guy right here running this channel, who's notorious for complaining about single moms. Some of his highest viewed videos in history about single mothers and the men who wife them up, and then what happens after the fact, which is adopting their children, right? So let's have a look now at a video that's a clip from Donovan, or Donna, interviewing Coach Greg Adams, I think in Las Vegas. Let's have a look.
Listen, Devon has, and I don't think you met Olivia while you were there. I think she was with her mom. But Devon has a 12-year-old niece. She'll actually be, I think she's supposed to be like 13 in, I think, March or something. And we have her over maybe 2-3 times a week. Beautiful girl, very intelligent. She talks all the time because she's a preteen, right?
Yep.
And it's funny. She will test me sometimes,
Yep.
right? Just for fun, she'll test me.
Yep.
She'll be like, Uncle Donovan, I'm going to go and play outside.
Uncle Donovan. You hear that? Uncle Donovan. And he's claiming that she comes over 2 to 3 times a week, right? He's very vague on that. 2 to 3 times a week. It's just kind of this approximate thing, right, to Coach Greg. Coach Greg, by the way, is not the target of what's going on here. He's just in the middle, basically, between Donovan and the audience, Donna and the audience. Now I'm going to reveal the truth to you guys. This is pretty brutal, so bear with me here. Number one, everything you just saw in that video is a lie. That niece he's talking about of Devon Sharpe's, the woman that we talked about here, Devon Sharpe, who of course in real life is Cynthia Ashlock, who is almost 45 years old. Donovan has a secret wedding with her that we've discussed here and proven and shown. He even asked George Bruno to marry him and his wife, Cynthia Ashlock there. So as MGTOW Dictionary MD claimed in the prior video where he was reviewing, engaging with Donovan and commenting on that whole scenario with his wife and stuff, what she actually looks like in real life, Donovan Sharpe has, to my knowledge, legally, he and or his wife have legally adopted a child. That niece that he's referring to is about to be 12, 13 years old. Oh, and before I even show you the text, he has told me this explicitly on the phone on numerous conversations we've had on the issue. He's had several conversations with other speakers about this exact issue. And to his credit, Donovan took it pretty seriously, and it was a really big decision for him in life to adopt a child, to secretly and privately adopt a child, which, by the way, is very problematic when you're posting content like this to your channel, not only in the people that he surrounds himself with, but on his own channel, where he bitches constantly about single mothers and stuff, as we just saw even with the tweet with Coach Greg, right? That tweet, which is right here. Being a stepfather to another man's kids is one of the dumbest decisions a man could ever make with his life. That little girl literally calls him uncle, and he is her uncle because he's married to her aunt, which is Cynthia Ashlock. Now, Donovan has told me flat out that he basically legally adopted this child, and it was a very extensive process. He told, again, many other speakers at the events and over the phone over months that he has legally adopted this child. He and or his wife are now the legal guardians, to my knowledge, of that child. This is not a secret. A lot of speakers know this. We just haven't said anything about it. It happened about a year ago. It happened in, I think, late 2019 or early 2020 when this is going on. And when I was C, actually, where Donovan has not only told me this on the phone repeatedly, we've had conversations about this. He's been explicit about what he's been doing, as well as with other speakers from the convention. Oh, not that one. So here's a text from Donovan in early 2020. I'm inviting Donovan to be, see if he's available for the Redman Group show that we do. You see right here in the background behind me. Unfortunately not, man. We're taking the kid to see her mother. Okay. Here's another one from January, also in January 2020. I'm not going to be able to do the show tomorrow. We have our first in-home observation tomorrow morning. These are the adoption services, by the way, that are observing at home what's going on here. This is a very serious process, this is my understanding. Ask him again about Redman Group later in January. Not going to be able for a while, trying to get Devon's niece involved in sports, and her mom got popped for public intoxication Thursday night, which violates her probation. Kat he's referring to is the mother of that child, who nearly lost custody of the child, and the child was facing foster care. We'll get into that in a moment. This again is another text. Donovan, this is in February 2020. I wish I could, man. Kathy is coming over for a supervised visit. That's the mother of the niece that Donovan and or his wife have legally adopted. Apparently she fell off the wagon again, but we don't want Olivia to miss time with her mother, so we had to convince the court to let her come anyway. They agree, but she can't be left alone with Olivia. So we got to be with her guardian ad litem. So we're going to have Full House tomorrow. And he asked me about something unrelated. Now, Donovan, I don't blame you for what you've done. I don't blame you for adopting a child. What I blame you for, let me actually qualify this a little bit here. I have nephews myself. I love them very much. I love them to death. I would take a bullet for them literally. I have two of them, in fact, and soon to be a third in a few weeks here. 3 little nephews, 3 little boys. If anything happened to their parents, my sisters, and the husbands and stuff, of course I would adopt them if they were facing foster care. You got to be fucking kidding me. I love these kids to death, man. I don't blame you for what you did. I blame you for how you did it. You've lied about it and you've concealed it from the public. They do not believe that you have a child in your home. You've basically been building a secret family. You have a secret wife that you've been lying about to the public, denying the true nature of your relationship with her, including after you were exposed, and various YouTube channels, including my own, discussing that issue. You went above and beyond that, and you have adopted a child. You have adoption services coming over, supervised visits, courts are involved. Meanwhile, let's look at that clip again from Coach Greg. Let's review exactly what you said here.
Listen, is Devon has, and I don't think you met Olivia while you were there. I think she was with her mom. But Devon has a 12-year-old niece. She'll actually be, I think she's supposed to be like 13 in, I think, March or something. And we have her over maybe 2-3 times a week. Beautiful, dude, beautiful.
Yeah, it's not 2-3 times a week, Donovan. It's full-time for a long time. Full-time visitation for a long fucking time. That child was facing foster care, and you and or your wife have legally adopted that child to prevent that from happening. Again, I don't blame you for doing it. I would do it myself in a similar circumstance with my own blood nephews that are in my extended family. I love them to death, man. You gotta be fucking kidding me. It's how you fucking did it. You lied. You lied to sell more fucking bullshit so you could keep going on fucking YouTube bitching about single moms and the men who wife them up. So you could sit there with Coach Greg like this.
Listen, is Devon has, and I don't think you met Olivia while you were there. I think she was with her mom. But Devon has a 12-year-old niece. She'll actually be.
You lie about this, including to Coach Greg Adams' face, so you can sit there with a straight face when he tweets about, not that, but this. Being a stepfather to another man's kid is one of the dumbest decisions a man could ever make with his life. You sit there with a straight face and you lie to his fucking face. Now, Coach Greg is not the target of that lie, and I want to make that clear to people watching this video. Coach Greg Adams is just kind of standing in the way. He's a middleman, so to speak, and I don't believe in any sense that he's aware of what's going on truly. Donovan's hiding it from him to conceal it so that, Coach Greg can tweet these things and not think twice about it with regard to Donovan. Donovan pretends to be this red pill alpha male meathead, right? With no kids. Wrong. He takes care of that child full time, and there's been legal issues in courts and all kinds of stuff involved with it. He told me flat out he was adopting that child. To my fucking ear, right on the fucking phone multiple times. He also told this to multiple speakers at the convention in late 2019 in Florida. This is a fact. Just like the nature of his relationship with his wife, he has been hiding that. He has been running damage control about her appearance and her age, lying about all sorts of fucking things. It's fucked up, Donovan. You're a liar. You're a pathological, compulsive liar on several issues regarding that woman, Cynthia Ashlock, aka Devon Sharpe. You've been lying about your relationship with her. You've been lying about her age. You've been lying about your relationship. I already said the relationship part, excuse me. And her niece, you know, again, I don't blame her for adopting the niece. I don't even blame you. I blame you for the way you fucking did it. This is a major thing. If I adopted one or both of my current nephews, or even a third one that's going to be here soon, that would be a big deal. I run a business similar to you that involves dating, relationships, marriage, family formation, all these fucking things, right? I'm not going to conceal if I make a major change in my life that directly reflects the business. You are engaging in false advertising. You are deliberately concealing this from your audience and therefore lying by omission. This is yet another form of false advertising. The people who watch your YouTube channel have absolutely no fucking idea when you're bitching about single moms and all this fucking shit that you have a child. You are legally, and or your wife are legally responsible for that child. And the men you surround yourself with, like Coach Greg, and again, many others, it's not just him. It's, I would say, 90 to 95% of the people you have on your channel would agree explicitly or very, very similarly with this tweet. This is not unique to Coach Greg. He can defend himself and explain his position further on his own, and I'm sure he has on his channel. But this is what it is. Donovan Sharpe, this red pill meathead with man boobs, apparently, pretends to not have a child, and he fucking does, and it's fucked up, man. It's one more systemic lie in a web of fucking lies that you've spun for yourself on the fucking internet, hiding and concealing who you truly are. And look at this bullshit. This is Donovan commenting on adultery and family formation, essentially. Male cheating is a myth. Having a side chick isn't cheating. Not providing for and protecting your woman is. This is why women take back their cheating husbands. They know this shows commitment through provisioning. They know he shows his commitment through provisioning, not fidelity. This is you directly encouraging adultery, infidelity, the destruction of families on Twitter before you get fucking banned like a dumb fuck from the black pill guys that you ran up to like a bee's nest and started fucking with. Adultery, by the way, was and remains a crime in many countries. You're advocating for people in many ways. Some countries that still break the law. Even in some states, I think there's still old laws regarding that. Adultery is a serious issue, man. And you're just openly promoting it like that, like some fucking scumbag. Look at this. Male cheating is a myth. Having a side chick isn't cheating. Not providing for and protecting your woman is. This is why women take back their cheating husbands. They know he shows and blah, blah, blah. This is a straight scumbaggery. You are lying about all these fucking issues that are surrounding that stuff, that are surrounding adultery and family formation, and yet you are lying through your fucking teeth about children, about your wife, about the relationship you have with her, about her age and appearance, all this fucking shit, this web of lies you surround yourself with. Just so you can sit there with Coach Greg.
Listen, is
like that, with a straight fucking face, so that he can tweet stuff like this, and he doesn't know, he's none the wiser. He has no idea. And again, Coach Greg is not the fucking target of that lie. Donovan does not care about Coach Greg in that setting or in that tweet and that kind of shit. The target is you. He wants your fucking money by lying to you and manipulating you for bullshit to sell this kind of crap to you. By falsely representing who he is and his relationships and his life and his family. He has basically created a secret family and is lying through omission as well as explicit lies in public, like the Coach Greg there. That girl calls him uncle. He is technically her fucking uncle, but really he's her fucking father at this point, his stepfather. The exact kind of stuff that Coach Greg tweets about. And again, many other, YouTubers and Manosphere content creators. So this is one more lie that I wanted to expose. I think it's very serious. It's important. It's integral to his business, which is why he hides it like this. He does not advertise this on his channel or on his sales pages anywhere that he is essentially a father at this point. That he has done things that are very serious in that regard with supervised visits, in-homes observations, all this stuff. He has told me flat out on the phone that he adopted this child. Legally, I don't know if he did or if his wife did, and he's just participating in this somehow. Whatever the situation is, he won't reveal it, and he's going to be fucking pissed that I'm revealing this, and I don't give a fuck. The time for lies is ended, Donovan. No more fucking lies, no more fucking bullshit. Dear Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson, who is Donovan Sharpe?
As a beta male, not an alpha male. Beta male, yes. Beta male, you're a beta male. Not an alpha male. What a shame. Mom beats boy. As a beta male, not an alpha male. Beta male, yes. Beta male, you're a beta male. Not an alpha male. What a shame. Mom beats boy.
Thank you, dear Reverend. I appreciate that. Good man, good Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson. Thank you very much. Excellent analysis of Donovan Sharpe, of course. Beta male, not an alpha male. Now, let's get into who Donovan Sharpe really is. We've exposed him throughout this video, the various lies that are very serious that he's been telling to the public and masquerading as for many years now. Millions of people he's been lying to, as well as over 100,000 of his own fans, and of course, the entire Manosphere community, and even my own audience, the 21 Studios, the Red Man Group, 21 Convention, and so on. So Donovan Sharpe basically LARPs and role plays as this alpha male red pill meathead. He kind of satirizes and attacks that sometimes, but ultimately that's the character more or less that he has embodied or tried to embody Edwin Hopkins using the persona, the fake persona, this kind of Batman persona of Donovan Sharpe. Let's look into that a little more. This is a thumbnail from Donovan's YouTube channel. I did not make this. This is his own image. The real reason Devon, his wife, surrendered control and submitted to me. Oh, savage, bro, savage. Real alpha fucking male. On his Instagram, for example, he literally bills himself as a red pill dating expert. You can go check that out for yourself. Red pill dating expert. Of course, the red pill comes from the movie The Matrix. Morpheus offers the red pill or the blue pill to Neo. The red pill is supposed to represent reality. It's supposed to represent the truth, the cold, harsh, bitter red pill truth. Donovan is supposed to give that to his audience, sell that through entertainment and education. He actually sells courses such as Womanese to educate men on the red pill truth, right? And he pretends to be this red pill badass, right? His wife, or girlfriend as he calls her, but it's his wife, surrendered control and submitted to me. Very alpha, big bad alpha male. Ooh, right? And he goes around clubs taking random pictures of women that he's not even fucking, right? These are from his Instagram, by the way. You can go find these. In reality, you know, so he pretends to go on this kind of red pill journey, right? Like, I was a beta male long, long ago, and now I'm a big bad red pill alpha male, red pill meathead, rah, rah, rah. These hoes ain't shit. These hoes ain't loyal. $5 super chat, thank you very much. All this fucking bullshit, right? Here's another beta male picture he has from back in the day. And look, people believe it, man, especially people that don't know him on the internet. This is a fake lie, a fake persona that he has created to sell bullshit like Womanese that we've been discussing throughout the show. To sell courses and products. Let me see if I can find the image up there. To sell this kind of crap, right? To sell his Patreon, to sell super chats, all this fucking garbage. He LARPs and role plays, live action role plays, being an alpha male. And look, even people, you know, even hashtags it like Beta Donovan. And even guys like AMS, Alpha Male Strategies, they actually buy into this stuff, right? It's a believable con. Donovan Sharpe is a con artist. And I'm going to share with you guys something very important here that a speaker once told me, an alumni speaker at the 21 convention. It's very important. He said that the way a man does one thing is the way he does everything. I'm going to repeat that. The way a man does one thing is the way he does everything. And that describes Donovan Sharpe's life, Edwin Hopkins' life, to a T, perfectly. He pretends again to go on this red pill journey from being a beta male to an alpha male, right? Oh, he grew a beard, very alpha, red pill meathead, rah, rah, rah. These hoes ain't shit, right? In reality, he's a fat mama's boy, a beta male blue pill chimpanzee with one-itis for his wife. All this crap about her surrendering to him and submitting, it's all con. It's bullshit. It never happened. It's actually projection of what's actually going on, the exact opposite of what's occurring. She runs his ass. I've seen her lead him around by his little shrimp dick in Orlando in 21 convention. She takes him to the fucking mall and she blows all the money he scammed out of you using lies about her and shit. If you guys have paid this guy's shit on Patreon and his courses and shit, you've been cucked. You are a simp for this fucking woman, Devon Sharpe, Cynthia Ashlock. She absolutely fucking runs his ass. He has severe case of one-itis. She fucking just runs it. His balls, his little hamster balls, are in her purse to the T. And if you've been buying shit from this guy ever and paying him anything, you were cucked by this woman. You are a simp for this woman, Cynthia Ashlock. It is a big fucking scam. Donovan Sharpe in real life, this is recent, is a guy with man boobs. He's not quite as fat as he used to be here when he was younger, but basically he's still the exact same inside. This beta male journey to a red pill alpha male, to a red pill dating expert as he bills himself. Oh, grew a beard. Oh, so savage. Look at that look in his eyes. Real hard ass, right? No, he's a fat loser and a fat beta male with man boobs. And he married a woman who's older than him, who's pushing her mid-40s. She's 45 years old now almost. And he's even trying to play damage control lately because he was exposed by the MGTOW channels and Black Pill Truth channels that I showed you. He's posting all these jokes about being exposed. He's really showing his massive insecurity at what a fucking fraud he is because he knows that deep down behind all the fucking red pill bravado, oh, all these fucking hoes, these hoes ain't shit. I became an alpha male. Everybody believes me. He's still a fucking fat beta male inside, a fat beta male loser. Blue pill chimpanzee to the bone, literally has a severe case of one-itis, which is one of the worst things that can happen in the manosphere to somebody. It's a very negative thing, right? Very short of divorce, rape, and a few other very negative things that can happen. Just having your life ruined. This guy has one-itis. He's in a codependent, blue pill, unhealthy, toxic relationship with this woman, Devon Sharpe, Cynthia Ashlock. He is completely cucked by this woman, just like guys who buy the crap from him are. They're all simps. She takes that money and buys fucking handbags and shoes and all kinds of bullshit as she leads him around by his little baby shrimp dick. It is disturbing to watch in real life, and that is actually what happens in real life behind all the fucking bullshit. Behind this fake Batman persona of being this hard ass that he creates in his head to sell you guys bullshit and be a con artist like he is and has been for his whole fucking life. Let's look into this a little more here. So we have the fat man boobs, we have the fat mama's boy, we have old beta pictures, and now, you know, he's been on this red pill journey with the blue pill past. Rah, rah, rah. Yeah, it's all a fucking scam, guys. So more specifically, let's pull something up here that's not Donovan. Let's pull up, those of you maybe who follow politics even a little bit, you know, if you follow the news at all, you might know this guy, Andrew Gillum. Andrew Gillum was a candidate for governor in Florida a couple years ago, not too long ago, 2018, and he almost won. He lost to Ron DeSantis, the current governor, by a razor-thin margin. It was a very tight race. And look at him here. What a nice family man, right? 3 kids, got a wife. He was the former mayor of Tallahassee, a good upstanding member of the community, a good father and a good man, right? Just like Donovan's a good red pill dating expert, right? Red pill dating expert. Bang these hoes, learn the truth about women, take the red pill, right? Yeah, wrong, false, bullshit. In real life, behind the suits and all this fucking nice shit and these family photos and all this crap, this fucking loser, Andrew Gillum, is a fucking meth addict. This is all over the news. Miami Herald, CNN, Sun Sentinel, all this stuff. They found him, let's see, about a year ago, maybe a little longer, you know, it's sitting in a pool of his own puke, his own vomit in Miami, Florida, banging a gay fucking hooker, and they were doing meth together. This family man was cheating on his wife with a gay hooker. The former mayor of Tallahassee almost became her governor. Look at this smile. Big old smile, big old smile. Everybody's happy. It's all fucking bullshit. In real life, he's banging gay hookers in Miami, smoking crystal meth with these fucking people. It's disgusting and disturbing. This is what happens. This isn't as politicians, guys. It's easy to blame it. Oh, politicians are scum. Oh, yeah, right. It's not just politicians. It's public figures. They say one thing in public and they do another thing in private. Just like Donovan, this big fat fucking fraud in real life is a fat fucking mama's boy. Oh, my girlfriend, Devon, his wife really, surrendered control. Big bad alpha male with a beard. Rah, rah, rah. No, he's a beta male fraud. He's always been a fraud. He's a lifelong con artist. He is always lying. He is a compulsive liar, a pathological liar. Basically, everything you know about his character of Donovan Sharpe that he's created on the internet is bullshit. It's always been bullshit. It didn't recently become bullshit. It's gotten worse over the past couple of years due to one-itis, due to this codependent, unhealthy, toxic relationship he's in with this woman who's manipulating him and who's the brains of the operation. But he's always been this fat mama's boy. He is a spitting image of what single mothers raise. He is the son of a single mother. As we know, single mothers raise the worst children in America. That's a fact. Go look it up. It is literally the worst thing that can happen to a young child. It's worse than anything. It has all kinds of negative consequences, lifelong being a criminal, lifelong poverty, lifelong drug abuse, behavioral disorders, all kinds of things. Being raised by a single mother, as we talk about in the Manosphere, as Donovan talks about on his own fucking show over and over again, hundreds of times, it sucks, it's brutal, and it produces fucked up kids like this fat con artist mama's boy. He's a fucking con artist and a fraud with fucking man boobs. So all this stuff about him being an alpha male, it's all fucking fake. It's exactly like this stuff. Andrew Gillum, big family man, nice suit, nice tie, almost became the governor, former mayor, and really he fucking, is almost drowning in puke, smoking crystal meth, banging a gay hooker. Behind his wife's back and his family's back, being a piece of shit scumbag. That is who Donovan Sharpe is behind the scenes. Behind all this fucking bullshit. Oh, red pill meathead, red pill alpha male, rah, rah, rah. No, he's a beta male. He is a beta male blue pill chimpanzee, exactly like Jesse Peterson was singing about in that song that someone made with clips from his podcast and stuff. So here's what he's really doing, even more specifically. I want to highlight this a little more. So this is a picture I'm going to show you guys of two friends of mine that I care about very much and respect immensely. This is on the left, Tanner Guzzi and his family and his wife. And then on the right, we have Pastor Michael Foster, his wife and family. What you see there is an example of success, really good success by men who chose to go this path in life. Now, what they have done, this is what we're showing here is results. These two men have massive results in their lives, physical results you can see. They have positive, healthy relationships with beautiful women, their wives, long-term relationships. These men are killing it. They're legitimately enjoying those relationships. They're married, having an awesome time, and they have these big families. They crank out kids by the dozen. And what you're looking at is 100% patriarchy. These men did the work. They put in the pick up by the bootstraps, you know? They did the fucking work and they got the fucking results. Pardon my French, and both of these men are not too much into cursing. It is what it is. But they did the work and they have the results and they have the success. They have done that in an anti-masculine age when people hate fathers and they hate masculinity and they hate men and they hate patriarchy. What do these men do? 100% patriarchy, awesome relationships, awesome families. They crank out kids by the dozens, right? That's their results. The relationships, the marriages, and the families. Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, we'll look at something else here. Two guys I also know. On the left, we have Cobra Tate, Andrew Cobra Tate. Playboy, millionaire, lifestyle, bangs hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of women, maybe thousands, who knows. And on the right, we have John Anthony, a coach I interviewed recently, and this is his interview with John Samez at Bulldog Mindset. He's also banged over 1,000 women. Now, what is the connection between these two individuals, or the two sets of individuals we're looking at, right? On one end of the spectrum, we have family men who are extremely successful by their own intelligence, creativity, risk-taking, and hard fucking work. They have the results. They got them. They earned them. They didn't con people into believing they have them. They actually have them physically in real life. And I've met these men. I know these men. This is real. They're congruent to their life and it's real. These men on the right, it's the same thing. These guys it's an opposite end of the spectrum, obviously, right? They're not cranking out kids by the dozen. They're banging women by the dozen. So it's a lot different. But it's another form of success, whether or not you have a positive opinion of it. It took hard fucking work to do this, to become a millionaire and bang all these hot women, to be a guy who goes out and bangs over 1,300 women with cold approaching and stuff. Do you know how many times John Anthony on the right there has gotten rejected by women? Probably over 10,000 times. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of approaches, all this fucking hard work. That's why he gets pissed off with frauds like Donovan, because he actually put in the fucking work, the hard fucking work, and the risk taking and the rejection and the ego bruises. Same thing with Cobra Tate, all the shit he's done in his life. He has earned that life, and it took hard fucking work and risk taking and balls and guts. The same as it does for these guys to become absolute patriarchs, lead their families, be strong men, have good masculinity, good healthy relationships with women. Guys, this is legit. This is what success looks like in real life. And what does Donovan tell us too about his results, right? What does he say here about this stuff?
Dude, listen, man, my results speak for themselves. It is what it is.
Yeah, it really does, Donovan. This is your wife that you're ashamed to even call your wife. You're a fucking hypocrite with stuff like this. This is what your wife looks like, and you're a fucking liar about it. You even asked George Bruno to marry you. And you role play, and you LARP, and you rip off, you leech off the credibility of men like this and men like this. He actually pretends to be more like this, what we're seeing here, being this massive playboy. You know, stuff like this. It's all bullshit. It doesn't exist, guys. It never happened. He was never banging hot women in, Vegas and all this stuff. It's all bullshit. Donovan Sharpe bangs fat women. This is his wife. This is literally the best he could do. Literally. I would bet my left nut that Donovan Sharpe, Edwin Hopkins, has never banged a hot woman in his entire fucking life and never will. Never has, does not currently, and never will. He lies and lies and lies to sell you guys bullshit, to make you a bunch of simps for his fucking wife. It's all fucking scam, guys. So he pretends to be kind of this, but really in real life, like I showed you, he's been building a secret family. So it's like a dark, mutated version of this, a very illegitimate, disingenuous one that he hides and lies about in real life. So it's all bullshit, guys. He's very much like Andrew Gillum, the family man, this public persona that's very pristine, very crafted, very manicured, right? Oh, the family and the smiles and the suits, and I'm the former mayor, and I'm a good, upstanding family man, and actually I'm a meth addict banging gay hookers behind my wife's back in Miami. That's real life, guys. That's how this shit actually fucking works. Donovan goes further. He hides behind guys like Coach Greg Adams, right? We see even Coach Greg commenting or liking this photo here. Coach Greg doesn't know. He barely knows Donovan, just like AMS, right? People believe this crap, right? He hides behind good men like Coach Greg. He hides behind the credibility of good men like Terrence Popp. He leeches off their credibility and their good reputation, and they're strong, good men that are congruent to who they are. They're not frauds. He hides behind them because he's a piece of shit, like a snake in the grass, slithering around like a fucking worm, hiding in the shadows. It's a fucking scam. In real life, Donovan is a lifelong career criminal. He has a rap sheet a mile long. By my count, 37 criminal counts. 37. You want to see? Let's fucking go through them. This is publicly available information. You guys are going to check this out for yourself. Crime after crime after. This has already been exposed, by the way, in other channels. Felonies, misdemeanors, all kinds of shit. He used to talk on a show about being a coke addict. He called it the Cocaine Chronicles. All the cocaine he used to do, and all this fucking bullshit. Theft, larceny, all this fucking crap. It goes on and on and on. Lifelong career fucking criminal. A self-admitted former used car salesman, used to also sell beds and shit. I hope those weren't used. All to fucking sell you guys that he's this fake red pill badass. And it's all fucking fake, guys. It's all bullshit. Everything about this guy is a fucking scam to leech off of men like this and men like this, like he's one of them. Like he actually put in the hard work to be a badass in red pill, and he's not. He's a fucking beta male fatty with fucking man boobs. He always has been, and he always fucking will be, by his own choice for choosing to be a fraud. No one forced him to lie. No one forced him to be a fraud. He fucking chose it every step of the way, including right now on this very fucking day that I filmed this video. He continues with this fucking role-playing bullshit, this fake persona he's created to sell you guys and scam you out of fucking money, through false advertising, lying about his wife's age, lying about the relationship, lying about the fucking marriage, lying about all this, the appearance, the way she looks, all this fucking stuff. It is a massive fraud, guys. Super scam, super scummy, super retarded. And we cannot stand for it. It has to end today, right fucking now. I will now provide judgment on Edwin Alexander Hopkins, also known as Donna, aka Donovan Sharpe, aka the Shart Mamma. On the count of starting shit, being a drama marketer and attempted character assassination, I find Donovan Sharpe guilty. On the count of lying to millions of men on YouTube, very fucking guilty. On the count of lying to over 100,000 of his own fans, I find him very guilty. On the count of lying to the entire Manosphere community, I find him extremely fucking guilty. On the count of lying about the relationship to his wife, I find him very fucking guilty. Guilty! On the count of being a massive hypocritical fraud, I find Donovan Sharpe guilty. On the count about lying about his wife's age, I find Donovan Sharpe guilty. On the count of false advertising, material deception, and literal illegal fraud, and a common sense understanding of the law by the letter and spirit of the law in the state of Florida where he broke it, in New Jersey, I believe he is fucking guilty. On the count of lying about his secret family by omission, I find Donovan Sharpe regular guilty. Guilty. On the count of creating a fake public Donovan Sharpe persona to rip men off with shit like womanese and all this garbage, I find him guilty. On the count about lying about and covering up his wife's physical appearance, I find Donovan Sharpe guilty. On the count of being a blue pill beta male chimpanzee, a compulsive pathological liar and con artist, I find him extremely fucking guilty. Guilty, guilty, guilty. You guilty motherfucker. You're guiltier than fucking sin. Guilty. In this segment, I want you guys to get involved. I want everyone watching to get involved and to engage to help clean up the Manosphere and drain the Manoswamp, the Mano-fucking swamp, the fraudosphere as it's being called lately. This is a systemic problem, and we've got to start somewhere. Men like Donovan Sharpe, effeminate mama's boys, basically, are fucking cancer to our community. They're toxic, and they hold it down, not just for years, but for decades. And it's a systemic problem. And Donovan is a prime example, a pristine example of what is fundamentally wrong with this fucking community. We need to drain the Manoswamp and clean it up, and I need your help to do that. Get involved, get engaged, do something, say something, speak the fuck up. Before continuing, I want to show you a little quick video again that we've seen earlier in this show. And it's very important. It's integral to what the hell is actually going on here with this guy. Watch closely and listen closely.
You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes. Listen, I have a confession to make. Confession to make. Yes, I am secretly married to Devon.
There you go.
Unbelievable.
That video is damning. That is Donovan Sharpe recently in Miami, Florida, Edwin Hopkins, doubling down and actively covering up and lying about his relationship with his wife and trying to disarm it through comedic humor and laughing about it, this and that. It's all bullshit. It's fraud. That video isn't just him lying. It shows intent, because that was given after these guys exposed him, and I exposed him for being married. He's addressing it there on camera in Miami, Florida, on Florida soil under Florida law, after he was exposed by this channel and other channels and my channel all over the place. That shows intent, criminal intent to defraud and take money from people under false pretenses with false advertising. The age of his wife is another one. Her driver's license says one thing. What does Donovan tell you? Something completely fucking different. Why? For direct financial benefit. Donovan used to be a used car salesman. Imagine he was selling you a 2009 car and claiming it was from 2014. What is that? That's called lying. That's called fraud. Lying about the age of a car to sell it is fucking fraud. Lying about the age of your wife when you're fucking using her as your result.
Dude, listen, man, my results speak for themselves. It is what it is.
Yeah, Donovan, they speak for themselves. Your results speak of fraud because you lie about all that shit over and over and over again, and you have intent. That video in Miami shows fucking intent, and that's recent, 2021. You're not just goofing around making mistakes. That shit shows fucking intent. You are a fraud. You are a criminal, a huckster, a parasite, and a con artist. Fuck you. Now, I want you guys to get involved and do something. It's not enough just to expose him here. This is a good start. You know, speaking precedes action. But you need to get involved. You need to get engaged. And we're going to do that. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So number one, this is a channel that exposed him. They have videos on him. Obviously, this video is what you can point a lot of people to expose Donovan further. It's pretty long. It's in depth. It shows all kinds of evidence and things, right? You can also search and find more on this channel, and channels linked to it on their channels page. You'll find even more. What I also want you guys to do is brush up on some basic understanding of Florida law and New Jersey law, and just in general, reading about false advertising and deceptive advertising, fraud and deception, material deception, specifically in Donovan's case. You can, Google this stuff, search for it on DuckDuckGo. It's not that hard to understand. Every single state that I know of, all 50 states in America and basically every country, they have laws against this stuff. Donovan has been breaking the law, and it's civil in most states, but criminal in some. On his fucking rap sheet, he's going to end up in fucking jail for this shit. This is fraud, material deception, just like defrauding people in a used car, lying about the age of the car, the mileage on the car, and all those things. It is fraud to the fucking bone, to the literal letter and spirit of the law, fraud in Florida, in New Jersey, and other states. And if you're a customer of his living in other states, you were defrauded, you were lied to, you were manipulated, you were scammed, and you're a fucking simp for his wife. You got to own that shit and do something about it. Educate yourself. The more you know, the better. Learn, get some knowledge, right? Some Tai Lopez shit. The knowledge, bro. Get your knowledge up there. It's not that hard. Read about it. Next, there'll be links in the description to this. This is where you can report Donovan to the state attorney's office, the attorney general's office that deals with these issues in Florida. This is a review of Florida, various laws and statutes about it, penalties, how it works, what you can do. The biggest thing is where I'm going to link here so you can go report the complaint, file a complaint. Everyone watching this video needs to go report Donovan for being a fucking fraud and scamming people out of money, false advertising, and breaking the fucking law. There's also a link here on this site for every state, so this is also one from New Jersey. This is where you can go to file a complaint. They explain it in plain fucking English. Pick up the phone, call somebody, go online, file a complaint, send an email, do something. Do not do nothing and just hit like in this video. I appreciate it. Hit like and all that stuff and fucking do something. Get engaged, get involved, get educated. Do not let this fucking fraud get away with stealing all this money from these people. It's fucked up. It's bullshit. And it's a systemic problem in the manosphere community, the fucking Manoswamp. And these guys, these MGTOW guys, are trying to clean it up, and they get fucking screamed at, and that's bullshit. I'm trying to clean it up too, and people are going to fucking hate me for it. That's what happens in real life, guys, when you stand up to a mob and you speak the truth. People don't love you for it. They fucking hate you for it. That's the price of telling the truth, standing up and speaking what is true. And I don't give a fuck. What's true is what matters. What's real is what matters. And this motherfucker is full of shit to the bone. So do something. Get educated. Go on these websites, links in the description. Look up, false advertising laws. Do something. Pick up the phone. Send an email. File a complaint. Get the shit done. Again, Donovan has shown intent to defraud people. Not just doing it, and he can maybe try to snake his way out of it. He has shown intent over a long period of time. He has lied to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of men on the internet, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, and all that stuff. He is a fraud to the bone. Do something. Everyone watching this video, go fucking file a report. I want thousands of people to file this. Get these state attorneys' offices involved. Get them investigating Donovan for being a fraud and lying to millions of people to scam them out of money, lying for direct financial benefit, like a fucking used car salesman. He gives used car salesman a bad fucking name, as if it wasn't bad enough stereotype. Fuck, man. Do something, guys. Get involved, get engaged, stand up, take action in your life. Don't just sit by idly, passively. Be active, take action. In this final segment, we're going to review the punishment for Donovan Sharpe that I am prescribing. Donovan Sharpe, aka Donna, aka Edwin Alexander Hopkins. Now, as a preamble, I believe firmly that Donovan has brought shame to the 21 Convention platform, to the Red Man Group platform, and to the Manosphere itself as an entire community. Absolute shame. He's worse than a fraud and a con artist. He's an embarrassment to this community, and he's embarrassment to the platform that I allowed him to speak on the 21 Convention stage and the Red Man Group and beyond. So he's a fucking embarrassment. And, as the name implies with the Manosphere, it's a community of men for men. And if we want it to be a community of men that's positive and healthy and useful and helps men become more masculine, become better men and better fathers, we must hold this community to standards of excellence, of masculine excellence. We must do that. If we do not hold ourselves accountable to those kind of standards like Jack Donovan talks about with masculine virtues of strength, courage, mastery, and honor, something that Donovan has fucking zero of. There's no honor in his actions and his lies, his fraud, and his deception. We must hold this community accountable to those kind of standards, masculine standards of masculine fucking excellence. If we don't do it to ourselves in this community, we have no hope of helping millions of men, of influencing culture and pushing it in a positive direction, of exerting standards of masculinity to a culture that is dying and lacking masculinity to the bone and to the T and to the soul. We must have it here first, and if we do not, we are fucking doomed, and so is the fucking culture. We must have masculinity, and it starts right fucking here, right in the fucking manosphere, with these cancerous frauds like Donovan fucking Sharpe, Edwin Hopkins. Fuck him, fuck these frauds. Donovan has been preying on wounded, innocent men, scamming them out of money, hurt men that probably need fucking therapy with actual psychologists and therapists, not pseudo-counseling on YouTube from these fraudsters and scammers, charging them exorbitant amounts of money for just random bullshit with these fat wives that they have that are old and all this stuff, all these lies and fraud and deception. It's a big fucking scam. These men are hurt, they're the walking wounded, and they need help from real men that are actually masculine and have results and licenses and therapy and all these different things. There's a lot of options out there, and this fraudulent bullshit is a big fucking problem that gets in the way. He preys on wounded, hurt men looking for the truth in a culture that hates them for being men and trying to be masculine and become more masculine. They get preyed upon by these fucking predators and parasites like Donovan fucking Sharpe, Edwin fucking Hopkins. It has to stop. And I believe as well that Donovan is beyond redemption at this point. This isn't a couple mistakes here or there. He already had an opportunity, by the way, to come clean, to own his mistakes, right? What did he do? He was exposed and he doubled down, like an SJW feminist, liar, huckster, fucking scammer. He doubled the fuck down with intent to continue scamming. It's a fucking scam and he's a fucking fraud, and I've shown that and proven that in this video. He is beyond redemption. I believe in redemption, and I also believe it has limits. He has exceeded those limits vastly and for years. His lies are so extensive and so long and so intense and so complicated. He's absolutely beyond redemption. He's a lifelong career criminal and a career con artist, as far as I can tell. Certainly, that's what his actions have demonstrated in my understanding and in a common sense view of what the fuck he's actually doing. Fraud, 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 lie, lie, lie. All he does is fucking lie, create this fake fucking persona, this fake Batman shit on the internet. It's all fucking fake. It's all fucking scam. He had a chance to come clean, and he fucking threw it out the window because he doesn't give a fuck. All he cares about is getting in your fucking wallet and scamming money out of your fucking wallet for his fucking wife that he won't even fucking admit's his wife, who's fucking old and all the shit that he lies about. It's a big fucking scam. It's a big fucking fraud. It's false advertising. It's against the fucking law. Now, there is punishment for Donovan. And I admit it was extremely tempting to just exile Donovan and ban him from the manosphere and just banish him, get him the fuck out. It's very tempting, but I made a better decision. I decided that Donovan's punishment must be much more severe, much more severe. Getting rid of him like that, just forcing him to leave, is way too simple and way too easy. No. We need something much more intense for someone like Donovan, a fraud and a scam artist and a con artist, a fucking fat beta male loser, mama's boy. So here we go. This is a prescription of what you need to do, Donovan, Edwin, Donna. Number 1, take 100% ownership of all your lies and deception. Number 2, publicly apologize to your entire audience immediately. 3, public apology to all fans of the 21 Convention and the Redman Group. You've embarrassed both fucking platforms. Piece of shit. 4, apologize to the entire Manosphere community. You've embarrassed the entire community. You brought shame to it, being a fraudulent fucking con artist and scamming men out of money. You give this community a bad fucking name. Loser. Apologize. 5, apologize individually to every single Manosphere content creator you've ever worked with. They are owed an individual apology, not just a general one for all the men that are involved in the community. You know who they are. You've worked with them. You've interviewed them. Apologize individually, immediately. 6, offer full, immediate, no questions asked refunds to all of your customers from the past 2 years or longer. 100%, no questions asked. Give them all fucking refunds the second they want it. You scammed them out of fucking money. You lied to them. You misrepresented yourself and your wife and your relationship and all that fucking shit for direct financial benefit. You're a fraud and you owe them back their money the second they want it. 100%. 7, you're beyond redemption. Pack up your shit and get the fuck out of here forever. You must voluntarily accept this punishment. You must voluntarily accept your penance. That is how it's more severe. It's too easy to kick you out for being a piece of shit, which you obviously are. You have to fucking own that shit like a man. No more fucking mama's boy bullshit. Go home, cry to mommy. You married your fucking mother. Enough of that bullshit. You have to fucking apologize, own your shit, and accept it voluntarily. No fucking more. That's it for this video. You know what you need to do, Donovan. Have a nice day and go fuck yourself. As a final note for this video, men like Donovan Sharpe are not the exception in the manosphere. They are the rule. They are incredibly common. There are dozens, if not hundreds, of content creators and podcasters in the Red Pill and the manosphere community that are exactly like Donovan. Total frauds in real life. What you see online is a carefully manicured persona. It's fake, it's bullshit, it's plastic, cheap garbage. In real life, a lot of these men are fucking frauds, and they hide behind good men that you trust on YouTube. It is systemic and is a fundamental problem in this community. It's been going on for more than years. It's been going on for fucking decades. I've been in this community for 15 years, watching shit like this go down, and it fucking disgusts me. It is the dawn of a new age in this community. And if you're a cancerous fraud in this community, you're on fucking notice. I'm coming for you. I have a fucking army to help me. And we're going to fucking kick your ass out of this community and expose you for being a fraudulent piece of fucking shit. You want to fuck with me? You want to scam men out of money? Fuck you. I'm coming for you, motherfucker.
And that guy's name was Anthony the Dream Johnson, the president of the fucking Manosphere. There's only one guy in the Manosphere, the president of the fucking 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 Manosphere. And that guy's name was Anthony the Dream Johnson, the president of the fucking Manosphere. There's only one guy in the Manosphere,